San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs beat the Oklahoma City Thunder for the second straight time. Last night they beat them 130-110. Those two are back in action tomorrow, this time in Oklahoma City for a Christmas Day game with tip-off set for 1:30. Dallas Cowboys announced today they placed offensive tackle Tyler Guyton on the injured reserve, signed defensive back Corey Ballantyne from the practice squad, along with linebacker Justin Barron.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And it's a hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
With a ho-ho-ho.
Hump day.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Christmas Eve, and happy to be here with you on this Christmas Eve. Hope you're doing whatever you're doing, enjoying your time with family and friends, and whatever it is you do on a Christmas Eve, last-minute shopping, all of that kind of stuff. Maybe playing a little golf. Goodness gracious, can you imagine? How about the weather in San Antonio, Texas? It is fantastic. December 24th, it's like 80-something degrees outside. Hot as all get out, but that's okay. That's why we live here, is it not? Again, I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix has the day off. He's spending some time with his family on this Christmas Eve, but we're going to get you through this sporting day because there is still a lot of sports happening. We weren't on yesterday, so if you weren't sure if we're going to be on today or not, well, we are, absolutely. So hopefully folks are out driving around doing some last-minute stuff, whether that's going to H-E-B or Costco or the mall or whatever it happens to be. Thanks for tuning us in. We appreciate it. So much to get to today, including, my goodness, how about your San Antonio Spurs? Are they incredible or are they incredible? What a game last night. The Spurs dominate Oklahoma City, and it looks like they've got their number. We're going to talk a lot of San Antonio Spurs basketball with the big matchup coming up. Can the Spurs make it 3 straight against the defending champion OKC Thunder? They'll get that opportunity in Oklahoma City tomorrow, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It finally here in San Antonio, we have a reason not to watch the NFL, but maybe to watch some football, maybe have the double box going, maybe, I don't know, flipping around and watching all of the above. But I am fired up and ready for that basketball game tomorrow. And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of NFL games tomorrow that don't mean diddly squat. They don't mean anything, although we're still going to be watching them. You know we are. So, but again, the Spurs, this team is just on fire. I'm here for it. It is fantastic, and I'm happy to see it. It is wonderful. If you want to comment on anything we're talking about today, please feel free. I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and if you have spread some holiday cheer today, you can certainly do that. That would be a good thing to do. 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. Those are the phone numbers. You can also go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. A lot of folks in there wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. That's a good thing to say as well. Or you can get me on Twitter, at Joe Reinagel 210. Either way, love to hear from you today about what you're doing, what your traditions are. What is your Christmas Eve like? Christmas Eve is one of those things. I love Christmas Eve because it's always a time just to kind of get together, relax, maybe have a drink or two, and reminisce with whoever it is you're reminiscing with. For me, fortunately, and I'm very happy about this tonight, I got nothing but my beautiful wife, Maggie. So it's just the two of us tonight. All of our kids are grown. They've got kids of their own, and, well, they're off doing whatever they are off doing, going and seeing other folks and family members and stuff like that. We'll all get together tomorrow night. after Christmas is over, after the Santa Claus has come and all the kids have opened their presents and all of that kind of stuff. And we'll all get together tomorrow night for a little fellowship and party and exchange gifts and do all of that kind of stuff. So for us, that's kind of the tradition these days. Maggie and I, Christmas Eve alone, which is nice, by the way. Little dinner, and then, well, who knows. And then tomorrow, family and friends. And so I'm looking forward to after the show today. But I want to know what are y'all's traditions? Anything out of the ordinary? Anything special? Anybody like, I don't know, you throw a brisket on the smoker, or some kind of fancy tradition that you and your family have done or carried on for, I don't know, a long, long time. Let's talk a little Christmas. I don't know, get your hot cocoa out, put a little something in there, light the fire. No, don't do that. It's hot as hell outside. Don't do that. But we're talking Christmas, trying to get in the Christmas spirit today. And again, it's a lot of fun to be here with you today. Yesterday was weird, right? Because we worked on Monday and had yesterday off because of college football. So it was kind of weird to break it up and then to come back in here today. But I took advantage of the beautiful weather that we've been having. And James Pledger and I went out and we hit the links yesterday. Had a great time doing that. It was a lot of fun. I would have to say, even though we didn't completely keep score, we did. Pledge won the match yesterday. I got to give him credit for that. But I think I won the day. And I'll explain what I'm talking about because, I'm out there and I hadn't played in a while. It had been several weeks since I went out and played. And Pledge, is some of you know, some of you may not know, the guy used to work in the golf business. He was trying to become a golf pro. So I'm swinging, I'm hitting shots just all over the place. And, well, Pledge said, yeah, give me a couple of tips. And after that, man, I started hitting the ball really well. So while he won on the scorecard yesterday, I think I won overall because I'll be ready for the rematch. And, well, after all, there's got to be a rematch. I won the first time around. I'll give him yesterday, and then we'll have to do it one more time. But a lot of fun out there, and it's so nice. And both of us, Pledge and I, we're looking around at each other out on the golf course in shorts, white belt and all, and playing golf on December 23rd. I mean, it's insane that we are able to do that, but we're so blessed to be able to do that. So I hope maybe you had a chance to get out today or maybe on Friday after Christmas, you can get out there and do something like that. But, it's just an incredible, incredible pattern we're having. In fact, I saw from my friends at Ken's 5 today, they had something on their app. It said that tomorrow, Christmas Day, could be one of the top 5 hottest Christmas days we've ever had here in San Antonio. So it's incredible how warm the weather is. I think it's supposed to get a little bit cooler next week. I'm not sure, but I think it is. It doesn't matter. Christmas Day is going to be fantastic. The Friday after Christmas is going to be fantastic. So all of that's good. Enjoy the weather, doing whatever it is you're doing. It's going to be tough to stay inside tomorrow and just watch TV. It really is. So may have to get outside, may have to even fire up the pool and get in that thing tomorrow. It's going to be that warm. I don't know, but it's going to be one of those days that you can do just about whatever it is you want to do while you're watching the Cowboys, the Spurs, or whatever it is, and however you're enjoying your Christmas day. Now we got some folks on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. In fact, Pumbaa Grubs, I hope I'm saying that right, brother. He said he's got a round locked in for Sunday out at Riverbend. Good for you. Good for you. Martin Ramirez says, Feliz Navidad, Ryan Eagle. Appreciate that. Celebrating Christmas in Laredo. 90-degree weather in Laredo. That may be the only place hotter than San Antonio right now. Or maybe down around my digs, Alice, Texas, Corpus Christi. Could be a little bit hotter there, but it is incredibly warm. I almost wore shorts today, and I wish I would have, in hindsight, because I came in blue jeans, and it's like, man, I got out of the car and walked into the station, which, by the way, is a complete ghost town. I think Edwin and I are the only ones in this building today.
Don Cooper.
Oh, Don Cooper's here. Okay.
So it's just us three.
So the three of us here at the station, and that's it. Nobody else is here. Everybody else out enjoying the Christmas Eve festivities, but that's okay. So much to talk about, including we mentioned the Spurs. We're going to talk about Spurs coming up in a moment. There's an article that I want to get into here before too long. It's an article in the Baltimore Sun, and it's all about Lamar Jackson. I don't know if you guys have seen this thing or not, but it's all about Lamar Jackson, and it's basically saying he could very well be done in Baltimore. And it may be because the Baltimore Ravens and head coach John Harbaugh, according to the article, might be tired of Lamar Jackson's antics in Baltimore. Interesting. We'll get into that coming up here in a few minutes. The Dallas Cowboys have placed Tyler Guyton on IR. He's done for the year, so he won't play tomorrow. DeMarvion Overshown is not going to play either. We'll talk a lot of Dallas Cowboys football as well. RJ Ochoa is going to join us here coming up at the bottom of the hour, so we'll talk some Cowboys football there. The Pro Bowl selections were made yesterday. We'll go over that because, well, we weren't here yesterday, so I'd like to do that and go over that. And a couple of other things that I want to get into today. The NBA is actually looking into anti-tanking rules, new rules to prevent teams from tanking. Fortunately for the San Antonio Spurs, we already got our prize. So the tank worked for the Spurs, but it may not work for others if the NBA has its way and can find something that works and makes sense for everybody else. And the college football playoffs, a lot of talk about that still. A lot of talk about that. A lot of controversy with the smaller schools being in, getting roasted by the bigger schools. And the ratings for the two games that involved Tulane and James Madison were horrible. Nobody watched. That could be the catalyst to change what we're doing in the college football playoffs. We'll get into all of that. I tell you what, it is great to be here on a Christmas Eve with all of you fine folks. I'm happy to be here. Do want to hear from you. Give me a tradition. Let me know what you're doing today. Like to hear it. And I just wish you all, again, a very Merry Christmas. Let's talk some Spurs basketball. We'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
While basketball has been playing for a while now, we know the holidays are the unofficial start of the season, and you know Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Hi, Jason Minix here. With Underdog Unwrapped, you'll unwrap tons of promos all throughout the holidays. They've got boosts, gimme picks, deal reveals, and even some surprises sprinkled in. So now is the best time to get in the game because you can make your picks and win money here in Texas, and it's easy to do. Get your favorite players and decide whether they're going to go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the Underdog app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Oh, Christmas leaks, you make our carpet squishy.
Here at Quartermoon Plumbing, we know all your Christmas wants, like the popular leaky faucet, the overflowing toilet, or the trendy clogged sewer line. No matter what list you're on, naughty or nice, Quartermoon Plumbing will answer your call fast and fix your emergency quickly so you can get back to your Coco and Carolyn.
651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to 60%, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Hope everybody's having a great Christmas Eve out there, and we'll have a blessed Christmas day. That's my hope for all of you. I'm Joe Reinigle. Jason Minix is not here today. He's spending some time with his family on this Christmas Eve. We wish him well. That's for sure. A lot of folks chiming in on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, and we're going to get into the college football things. I think LW Arsenal says that you got to keep in mind those two games in college with Tulane and James Madison were up against the NFL. Yeah, that is absolutely true. I'm just not sure the college football is going to see it that way. But we will talk about it coming up here in just a moment. Now, there's also a shout-out on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page to all the folks that are in the fantasy football championship games. And the only reason I bring that up is because, well, because I am. I am in the championship game. By the way, the defending champ of my league, so I got a chance to go back-to-back. We'll see if that happens or not. Fantasy is a lot of fun, but I know nobody really gives a damn about my fantasy team, so we won't talk about it anymore. What I do want to talk about is my favorite basketball team, and that's the San Antonio Spurs, who are just on a roll right now. I mean, it is incredible the role that this team is on right now and the way that they are playing. Again, albeit without Wemby seeing significant minutes. Last night he plays a little over 23 minutes. He's coming off the bench, but he's producing. I mean, obviously he's still producing. 12 points last night, and Wemby doing what he does. What was impressive about last night? It was a close game for a little while, kind of back and forth. But in the second half, the Spurs took over. And what is so cool to see, and I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this too, what is so cool to see is that the fact that the Spurs are back to playing Spurs basketball. And by that I mean they're playing defense. These guys are smothering teams defensively. The other thing that I noticed last night, and I think it's pretty clear and obvious to everybody, is that they match up really well with the Thunder. They match up extremely well with the Thunder. It's just such a great win for the Spurs, not only to beat them in Oklahoma City the way they did the other night in that Emirates Cup semifinal game, but then to beat them again because you knew Oklahoma City was going to come in and want to kind of even the score a little bit. They didn't do that. And you got to figure, going back home on a Christmas Day, national audience, they're going to come out as fired up as ever. So hopefully the Spurs can make it 3 in a row against the Thunder. But you're talking about beating the best team in the NBA, defending champions. The Spurs, the Thunder have 4 losses. 2 of them are against the Spurs. That's pretty impressive, folks. I mean, it is pretty impressive. Wemby, in fact, was asked last night if these 2 wins against Oklahoma City actually means something.
Of course. And it also tells me how much better we are from the beginning of the season. We can still get much better. Still got a few wins before we can catch up on them. But yeah, it means something for sure.
I know it means a lot to the fans. That is for sure. It's funny because before that game last night, I had a friend of mine call me, and he was on his way to the game. And he said, man, I want to put some money on the Spurs. They're getting 7 points from the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder were favored by 7 points last night. So my friend, I said, I don't know. It sounds interesting. I didn't bet on the game personally. I just wanted to enjoy it, however it turned out. But he did, and he won some money. I mean, one going away. And unbelievable that the Oklahoma City Thunder were favored by 7 points in San Antonio last night, and the Spurs just put it on them. That second half was a thing of beauty. Keldon Johnson's playing his tail off. He's playing fantastic basketball. And somebody on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page says not everything is revolving around Wemby. And maybe there's something to that because there's so many stars on this team, or so many good players, I should say, that could obviously eventually become stars. Everybody's getting a bite of the apple. I saw somewhere where the Spurs, their last 5 games, their last 5 wins have had 5 different leading scorers. That's incredible. That's incredible. Mitch Johnson has got to just be happy as all get out with the options that he has and the options that he can use in the future moving forward. Now, again, Mitch Johnson says it's exciting that they're beating Oklahoma City, but he says pump the brakes a little bit. We can't get too excited about the start to the season.
You know, you guys were frustrated or rolled your eyes at the start of the season. Our expectations that we wanted to be better than we were last year and to continue to grow and improve. We didn't have a magic number that we didn't tell anybody. We beat this team twice, to your point, but then if that team beats that team and that team's beat that logic, everybody's the best or everybody's the worst. This league's a monster. We have a good record and we get credit for those wins, and we've done a great job in our competitive response, and we've closed out some games in a very composed way for some of the lack of experience we have, whether that's individually or collectively as a group. And that's what it is. It doesn't mean anything more. It doesn't mean anything less. We played 29 games.
Well, that's coach speak, and that's okay. That's his job. Kind of keep us all grounded, keep the team grounded, not to let them get too high, too low. You know how it is. That sounds a lot like Greg Popovich. We're not going to celebrate too much with a win. We're not going to get too down with a loss, and that's the Greg Popovich school of coaching, and Mitch Johnson's doing a great job at that. Now, Oklahoma City, and I know the fans want this. I certainly want this, a rivalry with the Thunder. And I think people are hungry for that. And I think with Wemby and Chet Holmgren, it kind of goes hand in hand. But Wemby was asked if this matchup is becoming a rivalry.
I don't know, and it feels like saying it is a rivalry would be like a weird thing because it's not something that builds naturally. But it's I didn't say that it's impossible that it can be in the future. I mean, I hope it will be soon, but we're definitely getting closer.
No doubt about it. They are getting closer for sure. And I think the more you beat somebody, you know, anybody can say anything's a rivalry, but you have to win games before it really becomes a rivalry. Both sides have to win games. And there's got to be some, trash talking, a little bit, maybe some bad blood, some shoving going on. And I think we'll get to that point. It's going to be interesting to see. And I mean this sincerely, tomorrow, if the Spurs start to take control of that basketball game tomorrow again, how frustrating is that going to be for Oklahoma City? And I say that because they had no answers in the second half for what the Spurs were doing defensively. None. Now, Gilgeous-Alexander is still an incredible player. There's no doubt about it. But defensively, the Spurs were frustrating the Thunder. And that's something that just doesn't go away. You can have a bad shooting night. You can be off on this and that. But defensively, that usually shows up pretty much every night in and night out. And I think it will continue to do that. And it's going to be interesting to see if they get frustrated. I'm talking about the Thunder by the Spurs playing the type of defense they played last night in the second half. It'll be interesting. And there could be some of that trash talking, could be some of that pushing and shoving. And I'm not talking about brawls. Don't get excited. I'm not talking like that. I'm just saying, you know how it is. It's a rivalry. That's what you want in a rivalry type game. So you go into tomorrow's game and you wonder if the Spurs get that third straight over the Oklahoma City. Well, Mitch Johnson was asked if that's a statement game.
No, in the sense that playoffs aren't a discussion at this point. We haven't played 30 games. We need to continue to get better. I think probably what some of your sentiment is of playing the same team twice in a short amount of time. We've done that, I think, at least once this year, maybe one other time. It gives you it produces typically an approach where you know a little bit of what you're walking into. You just saw a lot of that play, whether that's style of play or, playbook very recently. And so the guys are a little bit more on alert sometimes of whether that's the base of what they're walking into or some of the winks and blinks and counters that the other team may be. And so we would expect nothing but a very hostile crowd and a very sharp OKC team on Christmas.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. They have to be. And look, if you're Oklahoma City, if the shoe was on the other foot and Oklahoma City had beaten the Spurs twice in a row in a short amount of time, Spurs, you would expect them to be fired up and want to change the narrative. And Oklahoma City's going to do that. The fans are going to be fired up tomorrow. That is going to be one hell of a game. And I think it's going to be a game that's going to feel like a playoff game. It's going to have that playoff atmosphere. And it's going to be a game that's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I am looking forward to it. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this last night, but Wemby has come up with a new post-game tradition. I thought it was really cool. And I'm watching that going, I love what the Spurs are letting Wemby do. I mean, he's got those jackals or whatever the hell they're called that he's got in there, and the fan group that he has formed. He's asked the Spurs if he could do that. They allowed him to do that, and now they've asked him to, or he's asked the Spurs to do this post-game tradition. And it looked like from the reaction of not only the other players on the team, but the crowd inside the Frost Bank Center, everybody kind of likes what they're doing.
Now, I would like, with my teammates, to introduce a little new tradition that we've been working on with the Jackals over there. So please, everybody, arms up in the air, spread your arms. Everybody spread your arms. And do just like the Jackals. Go ahead.
If that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will. And to see Wemby banging that drum and the crowd going along with what they're doing. And, man, I tell you what, I love the excitement, the enthusiasm of this young Spurs ball club. It is just, it's contagious. They're playing their asses off. They believe that they belong in this league and that they belong with anybody. Obviously, they've just beaten the defending champs twice in a row and have an opportunity to make that three. This is a fun time to be in San Antonio. And I know it's just December. Even during the Spurs runs in the 2000s, the early 2000s, I really didn't get excited about basketball, NBA style, until January, February. I'm excited now, watching how this team is performing and how they're growing up before our very eyes, and guys that you thought might be done with this team, like Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell, and they're playing ball. They're fitting in. They understand their role now. And you see Steph Castle doing what Steph Castle does. He's getting better. Dylan Harper playing the way he's playing. De'Aaron Fox running the team. All of the above is just outstanding to watch, and I'm fired up, and I hope you guys are too. And I think, just judging by some of the comments we have on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, you're pretty fired up. The stuff I've seen on Twitter, folks are fired up. They're ready to go. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, more Spurs basketball talk to come, that's for sure. But we're going to switch gears, because every Wednesday, every hump day, we talk to RJ Ochoa, Blogging the Boys. And we're going to talk some Cowboys football. A lot of things to talk to RJ about when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. We'll get into it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, I got to tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing. Family-owned company, local company, and they're just the best in the business. I know this because they've been in business since 1983. 1983, they've been in business. You don't stay in business that long if you're not doing it right, if you're not satisfying folks, if you're not standing behind your work. All of the above is what Stevens Roofing does. And now they've added solar to their repertoire, to their resume, if you will. Yeah, they're doing solar panels. If you've been thinking about solar panels, Stevens Roofing and Solar is the company you need to call. 210-785-0994. They'll put a plan together for exactly what you want and how much you want to spend, and they'll get it taken care of for you. And you know they're going to do it right, and they're going to stand behind their work. If your roof, if you think you got a problem with that, or you just want to get it checked out, Stevens Roofing and Solar is the company to call. You got to give them a call at 210-785-0994. They'll send a crew out to your house. They'll inspect your roof. They'll do it for free, and they'll let you know if there's any problems up there that they need to take care of. Either way, you're going to get the peace of mind that you want and that you deserve. Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994, or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry, you called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at Connecticut, SA VinDot.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
It's Christmas time, and we're ready to start buying cars like candy bars at GiveMeTheVin.com. If we don't beat your CarMax offer, we'll send you a check for $100. But better than that, we'll come pick it up. We pay with a check on the spot, and we're the largest independent used car buyer in the United States of America. GiveMeTheVin.com. We invented this stuff.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Listen up! Listen up! Don't overpay for fireworks ever again. At Mr. W Fireworks, we price our fireworks more than 50% less than the other guys, and we never charge you hidden fees. Look for the Big W on our sign, and you're in the right place.
Find us at MrWFireworks.com.
You know, this sounds exactly like what's playing at RJ Ochoa's house right now. I'm sure. I can see it right now. He's got a nice hot cup of cocoa, some peppermint right there in the Christmas spirit. Joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line is RJ Ochoa, the managing editor of Blogging the Boys. And did I nail it, RJ?
You did, Joe. I don't know if you actually knew that I was a peppermint man or not, but that really is my thing. I've had like 19 peppermint mochas in the last week.
Well, that's not a bad thing to have. I like that. Get you in the Christmas spirit, and it's kind of a good excuse to have them.
That's true. Peppermint should be around. Actually, you can get the peppermint mocha all year round. That kind of ruins it a little bit for me, knowing that. I want it to be something that's sacred, that's only accessible, when decorations are up. But and on the subject of decorations, I've already got some anxiety about having to put them away this weekend. So good time to be me, I guess.
Yeah, that does kind of suck. I always wait till after New Year's or New Year's Day before I take them down. Just gives me an excuse to leave them up a little bit longer. But that's okay. I digress. Now, RJ, Merry Christmas to you and your family. What is on the agenda for Christmas Eve?
Well, likewise, Joe, very happy and privileged to call you a friend, and I think we're going to be inspired by your household and leave our decorations up. I like that. Tomorrow, the Cowboys play, and so as much as I love my family, the NFL does not. And it's a noon game, so it's a little bit different than Thanksgiving, where you're kind of able to handle the food cooking process and whatnot in the morning because it's an afternoon kick. But so it'll be presents as the day gets going for my son. Santa is bringing him a telescope that, I assembled today. No big deal. And after that, we'll get ready to watch the Cowboys run cardio for 3 hours and put us one game closer to the end of this whole thing.
Well, and that's a good thing. We did get some news today. I guess Tyler Guyton's done for the year, and DeMarvion Overshown's not going to play tomorrow. Don't know how much that's going to matter because I think, was it Josh Johnson is going to be quarterback for the Commanders?
Yeah, the Josh Johnson, who was drafted in 2008. He predates Matthew Stafford. We talk a lot about how, that was the year that the Cowboys drafted Felix Jones and Mike Jenkins. I mean, it's been a very, very long time. Good for him. Good for Josh. But, yeah, I think tomorrow's going to be pretty gross. But I guarantee you it's going to do the dumbest streaming number that an NFL game has ever done and set all kinds of records in that capacity, which some would say is, kind of the goal for the Cowboys.
Well, it is the goal. As we visit with R.J. Ochoa, the managing editor for Blogging the Boys. And, look, it's the Cowboys. And whether they're doing well, whether they're doing poorly, it usually doesn't matter. People are going to tune in and watch them. Really all day tomorrow, when you look at the matchups, not exactly sexy, if you want to use that term.
Yeah, I think that, it's a quarterback-driven league, and this has been a unique year in that respect, in that a lot of them either gone down to injury or not played well. And so tomorrow, the best quarterbacks who we're going to see are, I think that Dak is the best, but then you've got Jared Goff, and even then, they're playing for teams in Dak's case that are already eliminated, in Jared's case that are on the precipice of being eliminated. And so, it's going to be great background noise. And I don't mean to say or imply, the NFL's done or the NFL's cooked or people are going to stop watching, but it does feel like a step below the massive games that we've gotten in the past on different holidays from different teams.
Yeah, Prime Video or Prime Channel, whatever you call it, they can't be too happy about that. Although it looked great when they lined that up at the beginning of the year. It's like these are great matchups. It just didn't kind of turn out that way. R.J. Ochoa with Blogging the Boys. And R.J., yeah, you look at this team, and Minix and I were at the game last Sunday, Chargers game. The Cowboys moved the football up and down the field in the first half and then did nothing in the second half. We all talk about defense till we're blue in the face, but what happened offensively to the Cowboys in the second half?
I think conspiracy theorists would say that somebody ordered the code red and said, wait a minute, we're really close to a top 15 pick. Let's just kind of calm down. I know that I fully buy that myself, but I think that they just get in their own way. And the Chargers have a defense that's, able to confuse you. And I think that they were able to confuse Dak and confuse Brian Schottenheimer. And the Cowboys kind of got away from what they do well. I mean, this season has shown time and time and time again that when you force the ball to CD or to George Pickens, it's going to work. It's going to work more often than not, at least. And we saw that, right? Like early on, it was the George Pickens show, and it was all about George Pickens. And to your point, a matter of, well, why did you stop doing that? What could possibly have led you to the conclusion that not doing that was going to all of a sudden lead to other things working out for you? So that's why I do somewhat buy my own conspiracy theory that maybe the Cowboys understood, hey, the Chargers want to win this game a lot more than we do. But I also think that they tend to get too cute with things, and there's a lot of evidence this season to prove that.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like, and I'll agree with you if this is what you were saying. If not, please correct me. But I think Jim Harbaugh had the coaching win in the second half over Brian Schottenheimer. I think you're right. I think it confused him a little bit.
Yeah, and I think, the Chargers are – I know that people don't respect the Chargers and feel like they're a bunch of different things, but the Chargers entered that game fighting for – seeding and fighting even to some degree still for the AFC West. It's just the Cowboys have been on the other end of that where it's been an important game to them and they've drawn, a Washington team that's already out of the race and whatnot. And so I think when you're in situations like that and the Cowboys are very fresh, obviously, in terms of finding out that they were mathematically eliminated on Saturday evening, I think it's easy I'm not accusing the Cowboys of getting pushed around, but I think it's easy to get pushed around or easy to step aside, easy to kind of not fight the way you do in the middle of week 3 because everything is depending on it. And so I think that, right now it's a pretty exhausting time to be a member of the Cowboys. And I think that kind of showed itself all throughout the second half. To your point, I think they came out strong and whatnot, but the moment something starts going against them is the moment that things really tend to fall apart. And I also think, you mentioned you were there. I don't know if there were any, negative words said about Matt Eberflus, but the Chargers held the ball 3 times in the first half and scored touchdowns on every single possession. And so that just has to, if you're a player and you spend all week long hearing about how this is going to help, this is going to change everything, and just to get work like that, it eats at you. At the end of the day, this is still a human experience.
Yeah, I think you're right. And there were some bad words about Matt Eberflus, no doubt. RJ Ochoa blogging the boys. Speaking of that, it was supposed to fix everything, RJ. Him going up to the booth, he'd get a better view and all of that. And my question was, well, why didn't you do that, I don't know, 6-7 weeks ago, if that's the magic cure for that? It didn't work, although Jerry and Shotty, even after the game, said the defense was a little bit better in the second half. I'm not sure that was the case. But Eberflus, he's gone, is he not?
Do you I asked you guys if you'd seen National Treasure last week, right? And the line about how somebody's got to go to prison. Somebody has to answer for this. To be clear, I don't think that firing Matt Eberflus is enough of an answer. I agree with you. It's going to happen. But I've just spent my time the last few weeks trying to, instill in people not to take the bait, not to see that eventual notification whenever it comes in and say like, okay, awesome, everything is fixed. I stand by my hope and belief that I held when the Cowboys hired Matt Eberflus because of his previous tenure with the Cowboys. And I think it's important, at the very least on a human level, to give the man some grace and say that he did not have his best player throughout the entire offseason, throughout all of training camp, and he outright had him taken away 7 days before the season began. Now, that is important context, but he did make his own bed. He refused to change. He refused to adapt. He insisted on doing things in a way that wasn't working. And so he signed his own sort of warrant in that particular respect. But I also would offer that he only kind of got the job on some level, at least it seems, because he has a history with the Joneses. And they have hired consecutive defensive coordinators who were already, in the HR payroll system. You know what I mean? Like it just is further evidence that the overall process isn't working. Matt Eberflus is the face of it today, in this moment, and the day that he is ultimately probably going to be fired. But he is only a symptom of the overall infection that is plaguing the entire organization from top to bottom.
Well, I'm not sure if I agree with that totally, but I see where you're coming from. Okay, if Eberflus is gone, let's speculate a little bit. Will Schottenheimer have some say-so into who the next defensive coordinator will be?
I think he will, and I think that will be what they really try to sell to people. Is they really are going to want people to feel like it's a shoddy hire, and I think Clayton Adams was a shoddy hire, and look how that worked out. I mean, that's worked out wonderfully for them, and so I do think if they were to go the former friend route, I think that there would be some vitriol and some outrage in the streets, and maybe some more bad words coming from the suite you and Jason were a part of last week. But I don't know who that is. I mean, he has proven, I think, to be a qualified head coach this year, Brian Schottenheimer, but his unique recent history is still an interesting factor. Clayton Adams isn't somebody who he worked with. He is somebody who he obviously knew and developed a relationship with and brought him in. And so maybe there's that type of person. But, I mean, he was not around a lot of coaching spots before landing with the Cowboys for the previous years that he was before he became the head coach. So it's kind of difficult to, you look at like when, in Houston, for example, and I'm sure Pledge has been barking up this tree all season, but DeMeco Ryans, if they need a new offensive coordinator, he worked in San Francisco with Mike McDaniel. Should Mike McDaniel become available, right? Like, it's easy to connect those dots. It's difficult to find just the dot to connect to Brian Schottenheimer in that respect. And you could argue that maybe that's why the Cowboys said, well, here's a dot. We know this dot. Here's Matt Eberflus, whatever. But I definitely think that they'll let him choose his own guy. I know a lot of people have a lot of hope for somebody like Brian Flores, but there's just no way the Cowboys are going to throw the bag at him the way they would have to, and somebody else ultimately will.
Well, and I would assume Brian Flores is probably going to be hoping he'll get a head coaching job at some point in time before it's all said and done. RJ Ochoa, blogging the boys, the managing editor there. Dak Prescott said something today, and I have a lot of respect for what he said, and this isn't the first time he said it, that he would fight Shoddy if Shoddy tried to bench him for the next 2 games. Now, this game I understand, and the NFL's probably grateful that Dak's going to play because it's Christmas Day. Against the Giants, okay, I could say sit him down. Everything would be okay. We'll let Joe Milton play. I respect that for the fact that man could sit down whenever he wanted to. If he wanted to sit down this game, I don't think Shoddy would fight him over it. So I have a lot of respect for him saying the words that he says, and I will give Dak Prescott credit for being one hell of a leader and a great teammate. I saw you had something today that you couldn't understand people criticizing Dak, and I understand what you're saying. I criticize him for his play on the field, not for the man that he is.
Yeah, I don't put you in that category. I think the way that you criticize Dak is objective and is with regards to who he is. And I think you also acknowledge his strengths and his abilities and his accomplishments. I'm talking to the really loud crew who only has Facebook and types in all caps and acts like he sucks and he's the reason, he's the problem, he's the whatever. Unfortunately, there are a lot of those people. And I spend a lot of my day every day just kind of, trying to throw cold water on them. As it relates to Dak's wants to play, I think this is a situation where there are a lot of correct opinions. It makes sense, and it's admirable, obviously, that Dak would want to play or CD would want to play or whoever would want to play. It makes sense that Brian Schottenheimer would want to try to win. There are jobs and legacies that are going to be defined by how many wins and losses you have at the end of the day. It also makes sense for fans to say, hey, the season's over. Why are you risking this? Something bad could happen, and you could ultimately, be in a situation where you make next year worse. And that's the first point of actual promise that we have to look forward to. And so that makes it complicated. I will say the worst way to handle it, I would rather the Cowboys rest their people. But I'm a fan, right? I can sit here and have that opinion, and that's just the way it works from my perspective. But the worst way they could go about it is if they tell us all this, cookie cutter, hallmarky football cliche, we want to play, we want to try to win whatever this week. And then next week, to your point, conveniently, we're gonna shut Dak down. We're gonna play Joe Milton, whatever the case may be, because that will feed what you said at the beginning, that they only did what they did so that the NFL and Netflix could benefit from the Christmas Day game and having Dak present. So you're almost, I think, painted into the corner of having to play everybody through these final two games, because if you bench them after this game, I can promise you that I will be on Twitter calling you out.
Well, I tell you what, Jason Minix is hoping that the Cowboys win the next two. I think he's got a ticket from Circa, RJ, with the Cowboys winning more than 7.5 games. So he needs these next two victories to win that bet.
I think he's going to get it. I mean, look, I said when the over-unders came out back in March or whatever it was, I said there's no way that they're going to hit the under on 7.5. And I said then that it was not a point of pride, that I wasn't saying it in a way of, oh, watch out, this team's going to win the Super Bowl, but they do not bottom out that way. And I think there's some respect or some credit you can give them for that. Like, they're not a team that goes 2-13 or 2 and what would it be, 15 now? So that just doesn't happen to them. They obviously fail in other ways, and no one is denying that at this point, but I think they are going to win. I mean, they're 6.5-point favorites this week on the road, and there's no reason that they're not going to be able to go beat Josh Johnson. And even if they do have Joe Milton under center, there's just no way the Giants, who are dealing with their own, philosophical debates this week as to whether or not they should lose and hold on to the number 1 overall pick. If the Giants, particularly if they, lose to the Raiders this week, there's no way they want to win next week and cost themselves that. So I think Jason is safe. And it would just be the worst kind of beautiful poetry for the Cowboys to finish 8-1 and even Steven 500 after all this.
It would be crazy. That is for sure. RJ, we're going to let you get back to your cocoa and peppermint, my friend. I hope you and your family have a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy, and we'll talk to you, next week.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you, Joe. You and this radio station mean a great deal to me. I owe my entire career to you guys. And so those things feel stronger on days like today and weeks like this. And so I hope each and every single person throughout the radio station, even the people who aren't cool enough to work in the sports world, I hope that they have a Merry Christmas and that their cocoa is hot and there's peppermint available for them. Everybody should get a taste.
Everybody should get a peppermint on Christmas Day. You are right. RJ Ochoa, Blogging the Boys. Thank you, sir, and Merry Christmas. Of course, RJ and all of our guests appear via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. Love talking with RJ Ochoa. He brings a unique perspective, to say the least, when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. And it's going to be interesting to see the moves that are made. And really, we can already start talking about them. It would be a nice little boost, I think, just morale-wise, to win these next two games, go in 8-1, and then start over. But, boy, if you happen to lose one or both of these games, what a bummer. What a bummer that would be. That would be awful. So we'll see what happens. I just think Washington and the Giants already have their bags packed for Mexico or wherever they go when they're not playing football. I think those bags have been packed for a long, long time. We got a lot more to talk about. In fact, when we come back, should we have sobriety checks for surgeons? I know that sounds like a weird question, right? But I got a story. You might change your mind. We'll talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Oh, Christmas leaks, you make our carpet squishy.
Here at Quarter Moon Plumbing, we know all your Christmas wants, like the popular leaky faucet, the overflowing toilet, or the trendy clogged sewer line. No matter what list you're on, naughty or nice, Quarter Moon Plumbing will answer your call fast and fix your emergency quickly so you can get back to your Coco and Carolyn.
651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Hornitos Tequila and America's team have one major thing in common. Everyone can enjoy them. They weren't made just to have a few fans, but to gather people who love high-quality, real Texas football and premium fresh-pressed agave tequila. It's for all our fans. Whether you live in Texas or not, or sip your Hornitos in a Paloma or straight, it's 100% agave tequila for 100% of Dallas Cowboys fans. Hornitos, the tequila de todos. Drink smart. Hornitos Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume. 2025 Salsa Tequila Import Company, Chicago, Illinois.
Light up your outdoor party with Mr. W Fireworks.
We always have the lowest prices around. That's right.
Our prices are always more than 50% lower than the other guys.
And we never charge any hidden fees.
Look for the big W on our sign and find us online at MrWFireworks.com. When you shop at Mr. W, you can be sure you are getting the lowest prices on fireworks around. And the biggest selection.
Don't overpay for your fireworks ever again.
From our family to yours.
Happy New Year!
Pork rinds are the crunch time hero of the snack aisle. Low carb, collagen packed, and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. The PorkRinds.com Instagram will make a crunch time donation with each share of the Crunch Time Hero college football post, with each share equaling a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to helping families dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Share on Instagram today and grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe pork rinds at HEB.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GRAVY25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she doesn't love is when it suddenly rains. As she sits underneath a bridge waiting for it to stop, she grows quite fond of the graffiti on the overpass. She really likes the one with John Hart's Claire and wonders if they're still together. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
That guy pulled out in front of me out of nowhere. The police are on their way, but I'm really shaken up.
Don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. You made the right call.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck, call Davis Law Firm at 444-4444. We're ready to help day or night, and there's no fee unless we win.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
How about those Spurs? They are red hot, and they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder for the second straight time last night. 130-110 was the final. They are back at it, those two teams, in Oklahoma City. Christmas Day with tip-off set for 1:30. Cowboys eliminated from playoff contention. They do have 2 games left. Tomorrow, Christmas Day, they're in Washington to take on the Commanders. Kickoff at noon, but we get you started right here on 94.1 at 11.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Ho, ho, ho. Gotta throw in a little ho, ho, ho on a hump day. You can't hump, hump, hump without a ho, ho, ho.
Hump day.
Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a great one out there. Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Eve. Hope everybody's having a great Christmas Eve, doing whatever it is you're doing. You got all your stuff done. You can just sit back, have a nice beverage of your choice, whatever that may happen to be, and spend some time with family and friends on this Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So happy that you decided to spend a few minutes, a little bit of your time with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix has the day off. He's spending time with his family today, so that's good for him. Happy to hear that, and well, we got a lot to talk about. It's just one of those days, man. It is. I'm in the holiday spirit. I don't know if you can tell or not. A little bit of a hoarse, froggy throat, but we're getting by. It's actually improved since Monday. I don't know if you were with us on Monday. It was a lot worse than it is today, and I feel great. That's what sucks about it, is I feel great. Don't feel bad at all. It's just, the throat is refusing to work. It needs a vacation, I think, a couple of days off, and it's just what the doctor ordered, and, well, we'll get a couple of those here coming up. So, a lot to talk about. A lot of people on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Appreciate you there. Please like and subscribe to that page as well. You can get me on Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210, or you can call in the old-fashioned way if you want to, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. New Year's, Christmas Eve traditions. Do you have any? Something special your family has done for years, or maybe when you got married and had kids of your own, you developed some new traditions of your own. For Maggie and I, well, tonight is a date night of sorts. We've got some dinner reservations. We're going to have a nice dinner and go home, and we get to wake up on Christmas Day, just the two of us. And then the family will come over tomorrow night. That's kind of our thing. We let the kids go to the in-laws' house and all of that, and then they all gather at our house on Christmas night. And so we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But do you have any traditions? Edwin, you got any traditions at your house, Christmas stuff that you do?
When I was growing up, I used to, my parents let me open one gift on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
That was it. It could just be one, whatever. And and usually I didn't know what it was, so I had to kind of guess which one was the best one to open. A lot of times I guessed wrong.
Did you get your choice of which one you wanted to open? I mean, could you look down at the tree and say,
it could be any one, but I didn't know what it was. Like I tried to.
Well, sure.
Yeah, but
Well, that's the idea, Edwin, of a present being
Well,
wrapped. You don't know what the hell it is.
Well, it usually wasn't the best gift I chose on Christmas Eve, so they did a good job on it.
Oh, well, good. My parents would put something kind of goofy in a big box. And when my kids were little, we had a tradition, and we would do that as well. We would open one gift on Christmas Eve, but I would make sure that it was a gag present. So I don't know. I can't remember the name of the store, and it was there at La Cantera, and it was kind of a novelty store with some pranky gifts and stuff like that. And my favorite to give my kids was plastic dog poo. I mean, so you put that in a box, and they'd open it up, and it's plastic dog poo, and I got a hell of a kick out of it. They didn't think it was all that funny, but I never claimed to be dad of the year. So, but I'm just saying that was funny. We'd give some kind of gag gift, and then we'd let them open a real one. But you got to have some fun with kids, right? I mean, if you're a new parent out there, you know what I'm talking about, especially dads. You got to have some fun with your kids. I mean, you can't be all serious and all, lovey-dovey. And, I mean, you got to have some fun with them. I think that's the fun of being a parent. I don't know. Maybe I'm different, but I do. So Christmas traditions, man. If you've got any you want to share with us, we'd like to hear from you. Give us a call and let us know what you're doing on this beautiful Christmas Eve. The weather outside is anything but Christmassy. That's for sure. It's more like 4th of July than Christmas. That's for sure. It's hot outside. Craziness. And I wore blue jeans to work today, and I wish I wouldn't have. I wish I'd have worn shorts. Got out of the car here at the station, and it's like, man, it's hot. It is hot outside. Just crazy stuff. But Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. Eagle fan says he's got Christmas robe on and mimosas rolling. Good for you, man. That sounds like a great way to spend a Christmas Eve afternoon. I will have, I'm not sure about the robe tonight, but I'll have some adult beverages flowing myself, no doubt about it. Art Garcia says Garcia family Christmas Eve tradition, tamales, arroz y I can't speak Spanish, Art. Arroz y frijoles for dinner. That's rice and frijoles. If I'm saying that right, I'm assuming. That sounds fantastic as well. Good for you. Good for you. I like these Christmas Eve traditions that people have. And if it's food, if it's Sam 210 said that's a fake Eagle fan. I have no idea who's fake and who's real. I'm glad you can figure that out, Sam. Well, all right, fake Eagle fan. You still, Christmas robe and mimosa still sounds pretty good, whether you're fake or not, my friend. Hey, Edwin, you know what we do this time? Every day.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Yeah, we call it the Headline Blitz. That's what we do. And just kind of take a look at some of the stories, not sports related, although sometimes they are sports related. It doesn't make any difference. But one of them, remember Ben Simmons? Basketball fans will remember Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons came out of college and, he was a pretty good player. And then all of a sudden he started getting hurt quite a bit. Got big contracts, got hurt, didn't play. It wasn't good. I mean, it was kind of like number two. You know, you're hurt all the time, but you just collect the checks, and that's what you do. Well, that's what Ben Simmons did for a lot of his career. And apparently he is putting off his NBA return, actually putting it on hold, so he can focus on pro fishing. Who knew that Ben Simmons was a pro fisherman? I didn't, but some guys are really good fishermen. And I don't know about you guys. I'll get sucked in sometimes into watching these guys fish and how they reel them in and they show you the fish and then they throw it back. But anyway, that's what Ben Simmons is going to do. I found that interesting. He's going to put his NBA career on hold, and he's going to focus on pro fishing. Now, look, Ben Simmons had made a lot of money in the NBA. There are some out there that might say he stole a lot of money, legally, of course, stole a lot of money from various teams throughout the NBA, but he's going to use that, I guess, to buy a nice boat and a fishing rod and practice. He's going to go pro fishing. So good for Ben Simmons. You like the smell of donuts? You a donut guy, Edwin?
I mean, I don't hate them, but I mean, yeah, Shipley's Donuts, yeah.
They smell pretty good, though. When you walk into a Shipley's or a Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, I mean, it's a nice odor to that, if that's the right word I'm looking for. Well, there's one city that doesn't like it at all. Apparently, there's a big Dunkin' Donuts factory where they make donuts for all over the place. And it is there in this small town of Haverhill, Massachusetts. I would think that would be kind of nice, but they're baking up donuts all the time. Well, the folks that live there now are complaining about the smell. Said the smell gets into everything. One guy says, my entire house smells like donuts 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I guess that would get kind of old, even with some of the best smells that are out there. It would get kind of old, smelling like donuts all the time. I always wonder how people like work in a barbecue restaurant. I mean, do you ever get that out of your clothes? Because you got to smell like a barbecue pit the whole time. You know, I walk into any barbecue place and you walk out of there, even if you're in there about 10 minutes, smelling like a barbecue pit. Well, can you imagine? 24/7 donut smell. Now, I like donuts. I'm not a huge eater of them, but I like donuts every now and then. And I love the way they smell. But I guess, according to some, it gets kind of old. I don't know. Massachusetts folks don't like them, even though Dunkin' Donuts probably spends $1 gazillion in that particular city. I'm not sure. Anybody had surgery lately? You had surgery lately, Edwin? I haven't either. It's certainly not plastic surgery, but there is a Texas surgeon, I believe it's in the city of Houston, if I'm not mistaken, who just got arrested for performing a procedure on someone while intoxicated. Now, apparently this happened back in August. They're not saying he was completely like slobbering drunk, but he was intoxicated and apparently had gone to some sort of a tailgate party, which, I mean, you can't blame him for that. But I mean, if you're on call and you got a surgery, you might not want to have any drinks. So this dude's he got arrested and now he's got to go on trial. And apparently he's a rock star surgeon. I mean, this guy is like a name in Houston, and and I think they have his name, and I'm not sure I can pronounce it, to be totally honest with you. But especially if you're going in for plastic surgery. I mean, can you imagine? Your nose ends up where your ear's supposed to be, and your ear's on your nose, and your mouth is up on your forehead, and that would be kind of bad. And he's probably giggling the whole time he's doing that if he's drunk. Guy's name is Azul Jaffer. Is what this says. Dr. Azul Jaffer. He put a patient at substantial risk of harm, according to this story out of Houston, ABC 13. So you might want to, test your surgeon the next time you have a surgery. Make sure that that guy or gal is not drunk. That's just bizarre to me. It is bizarre to me. I don't know. You know what else is bizarre to me is the fact that Lamar Jackson could actually be playing somewhere else next year because he and the Baltimore Ravens have a falling out. I'm not kidding. This is crazy, and it could actually happen, according to an article today in the Baltimore Sun. We'll tell you about it. We'll talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on this Christmas Eve, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you need an electrician, you know Hill Electric is available for both residential and commercial needs. Hi, Jason Minix here. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my home through the years. They've added extra outlets in the garage, put up a spotlight over one of the grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whether you need additional outlets or USB ports, you need to fix a fuse that is always blowing or a flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, never a service charge, and always free estimates, so it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out what it will take to get a project done. Hill Electric is a great locally owned, family-run business. Again, never a service charge, always free estimates. Call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074. 404-9074 or check their website, hill-electric.com. That's hill-electric.com.
How's the heating and AC at your house? If you've got any issues, you've got to call Right Home Services. Veteran-owned and operated, they've been serving San Antonio for more than 45 years now. They're certified, background-checked, and highly trained professionals. And right now, Right Home Services has a great special. This is for a whole home AC system replacement, $79.99 right now. The number's 210-444-0000, Right Home Services.
The right stuff.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry, San Antonio, Texas.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and top users make $200 to $300 per month.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUMPER25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUMPER25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUMPER25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
America's Diamond has never sold lab-grown diamonds, and we warned our clients, friends, and neighbors that wholesale prices would crash to almost nothing. 2-carat GVS2 lab-grown diamonds are currently being traded at wholesale for $264, but some jewelers are still selling them online for $3,000 to $4,000. Repeat, wholesale $264, retail $3,000 to $4,000. Some retailers are selling 1-carat lab-grown diamonds for under $300, and others are giving them away for free with purchase. Lab-grown diamonds are very easy to detect with gemological equipment. Tens of millions of carats are produced in huge factories in China and India, using a tremendous amount of subsidized electricity supplied by coal-burning power plants. America's Diamond has only offered traditional, real, natural earth-grown diamonds that are rare, extremely beautiful, and have had real value for centuries. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
I have a question for AJ. Like, do you actually wear a fake headset on game day? Because I have a vision of you just like with a headset on, like, you know, going through the motions.
Andy Reid.
Really awesome.
He knows Coach Reid. He's got a menu.
Fake Andy Reid. Yeah, fake Andy Reid. I love that guy. I mean, fake Andy Reid who's got his headset. I just wondered because, again, you are very knowledgeable, but I think that's what I'm going to do when I retire is I'm just going to sit around with a headset and talk to nobody but myself.
Yeah.
You know, hey, go for it here.
Keep a challenge flag in your sock. And then I tell myself, oh my God. I can't believe Shotty did this. I'm going to talk to him on the radio on Friday, and I can't believe he did this.
Brian Schottenheimer's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings, presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We'll let y'all enjoy this. Doom, da doom, da doom, da doom. Mariah Carey, ladies and gentlemen. I hear that is the most annoying Christmas song for most people in the entire world. I like it. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. And you must like it too, Edwin, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. Mariah Carey.
I don't get tired of it as long as I hear it this time of year, not year round.
Exactly. That's it. And typically you don't. That's kind of cool. It is Christmas Eve after all. Come on, get in the spirit. There's no Scrooges out there, are there? Can't have any Scrooges today. Glad you're spending some time with us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, though. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minnick spending some time with his family on this Christmas Eve. Happy about that, and I know they're having a good time. Lots to get into today on this hot Christmas Eve. But one article that caught my attention today, and I am having a hard time. And look, from everything that I've heard about this guy, the guy that wrote this article is named Mike Preston, and he works for the Baltimore Sun. And he just lays it pretty much on the line. But this is an interesting article, and it is very critical of one Lamar Jackson, the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens. And I say critical, it's just more so that there could be a parting of the ways pretty soon, which I find interesting because, I mean, my goodness, I mean, Lamar Jackson is considered one of the best quarterbacks playing in the NFL today. Now, according to the article, the team has been in negotiations with Lamar about an extension to the 5-year agreement that he signed back in April of 2023. But according to this, no specific updates, even though those discussions are ongoing. Now, Mike Preston, and this is an editorial of sorts, he says he wouldn't offer him another contract. He said, not with the injuries that he suffered this season. In fact, he says he'd ask him for a rebate. Well, that's not going to happen, although some players have been known to do that. Tom Brady won. Apparently, according to this article, Jackson is set to count $74.5 million against the Ravens cap in 2026 and 2027. That would make him the highest paid signal caller in the league. And that's a lot of money. If you percentage that out, it's about 24% of the entire Ravens salary cap. Now, the Ravens, as we've all seen, have not played well this year. Their defense has not been good. Their offensive line has not been all that great either. And they could use some help. I mean, they need to go out and get some players. And if Lamar Jackson is playing or counting that much against the cap, and which makes the sense that they're trying to renegotiate this or extend it because they can push that out a little bit if that's what they choose to do. Lamar's going to be 29 years old in January. So, look, obviously that's not old, but in football years, once you hit that 30 mark, that's considered, you're kind of getting up there, maybe on the back half of your career. And again, Lamar's been hurt. And I think you could see this year, more so than any other year, I think, Lamar Jackson just doesn't seem to be playing up to the level that we're used to seeing Lamar Jackson play. There's also, now according to this article, a little bit of friction between Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh, the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. That, according to this article, he has sources that say that the reason the Ravens practice in the afternoon is because Lamar Jackson doesn't want to practice in the morning. Lamar Jackson enjoys playing video games, according to this article, and that he spends a lot of time doing that. Lamar Jackson will show up for mandatory mini camps for one day, and then he's gone. Nobody says a word. And you understand that. I mean, this is not just singling out Lamar Jackson. Any star player of any team gets special privileges. They do. Jimmy Johnson said as much of Emmitt Smith once, that, he can get away with more than, say, Joe Blow, second-string offensive lineman. And it's just the way that it is. It's the pecking order. So I understand that. This article also says Lamar Jackson falls asleep in team meetings. So John Harbaugh is not a fan of that, and you have to wonder. So as I'm reading this article, and then I'm hearing rumors that while this is going on, it is kind of well known around the league, apparently. You got teams like Miami, teams like Las Vegas, who are very interested in what's happening with the Baltimore Ravens. So it leads you to wonder, we heard Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals quarterback earlier this year, sound very depressed on the podium. I mean, sound extremely depressed on the podium. Does he want out of Cincinnati? Most folks think that he doesn't and that he won't leave Cincinnati, but who knows? You don't know. Can you imagine having two quarterbacks from the same division that are as great as Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow leave and change teams? Now, I didn't know this, but apparently Lamar Jackson is from the Miami area. So I would think that would be a natural fit for him if he were to change teams, leave Baltimore, and head to Miami. The Dolphins have a problem with Tua. He's going to count a lot of money against their cap, and there's nothing they can really do about it. But it appears that they're done with him, especially if their current coach comes back, because they seem to be at odds there as well. Could Lamar Jackson end up in Miami? Wouldn't that be something? Could a Joe Burrow end up in Las Vegas? I mean, think about this. You're talking about big-name quarterbacks possibly moving on and being with other teams. Lamar Jackson is coming under the same criticism as a Dak Prescott. He can't win in the playoffs. Great regular season quarterback, MVP, but he can't win in the playoffs. There's a difference between regular season and postseason for Lamar Jackson, which is always said about Dak Prescott. This is interesting. And this article, I tell you, blew me away. I had no clue that there was trouble in paradise, so to speak. Now, look, this could all be for naught if John Harbaugh is fired. There's been rumblings about that. Harbaugh could be gone. Whoever the new coach is makes nice with Lamar Jackson, and everything's A-okay, and there's no problem. But if Harbaugh stays, this could be a problem. It's going to be interesting to see. Would Miami trade for him? Would they take on that salary, that responsibility? I find this fascinating. And this, if you get an opportunity to read this, Baltimore Sun, now keep in mind, it's behind a firewall. So you got to subscribe, but it is worth the read. And I have a feeling we're going to hear more about this situation from other publications beside this. I mean, if this is an ongoing problem, and my gosh, I had no clue that Lamar Jackson was, sounds like Kyler Murray. Remember the trouble that Kyler Murray, he wouldn't study, didn't study, just played video games all the time. It sounds like that's what's happening with Lamar Jackson. Now, granted, there's no comparison between the two in my mind. Lamar Jackson is head and shoulders better than Kyler Murray. But same type of things. And maybe getting a little too comfortable in Baltimore. where you're just starting to, push the edges with the sleeping in the meetings and the not showing up and the staying up late and the demands. Something to watch. And I thought it was worth bringing out just simply because who would have thunk it? Not me. I wouldn't have thunk it. It's an incredible article. If you get a chance, take a look at it. It's worth the read. About a 5-minute read. And it's interesting. But it appears that the Ravens and Lamar Jackson could very well be at the crossroads. We got some tickets to give away right now.
We should do it.
Well, why not do it? Let me get my little handy-dandy piece of paper right here, but it's to the Navy All-American Bowl and the San Antonio All-Star Game presented by San Antonio Sports. 2 games, 1 ticket. We've got a family 4-pack of tickets to go see the Navy All-American Bowl at 12:30, January 10th. That also gets you into the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero at 5:30, plus 4 Whataburger coupons. How do you beat that? You want to go to that on January 10th? Be caller number 10, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. You win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Navy All-American Bowl and the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero. Good luck to you. Caller number 10. When we come back, Brian Schottenheimer and the Cowboys have flown off to Washington. They've got a game against the Commanders there tomorrow night. They're already seemingly talking about next year. Dak Prescott, Brian Schottenheimer. I'm going to hear what they have to say about next year and what their plans are, what they'd like to see. We'll do all of that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Well, basketball has been playing for a while now. We know the holidays are the unofficial start of the season, and you know Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Hi, Jason Minix here. With Underdog Unwrapped, you'll unwrap tons of promos all throughout the holidays. They've got boosts, gimme picks, deal reveals, and even some surprises sprinkled in. So now is the best time to get in the game because you can make your picks and win money here in Texas, and it's easy to do. Get your favorite players and decide whether they're going to go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the Underdog app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play-and-get-terms_DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
So you need last-minute gifts. No judgment. Get an extra 25% off during Kohl's Friends and Family Sale and find great gifts under $20. Like something cozy, something thoughtful, something that says, you planned this all along. Yep, you're just one quick trip away from checking off the last gifts on your list. Save now at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer ends December 24th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight, and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Want to be the block party hero this year? Head to Off Fireworks Megastore, just 2 miles outside 1604 and Petrenko. Get the loudest deals. Buy 2, get 1 free on 500-gram aerials and reloadable artillery shells plus more. Light it up at Off Fireworks, 13022 Petrenko Road.
Byers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Byers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at byersbarricades.com. That's byersbarricades.com.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. If you're tired of pain slowing you down from a recent injury or something that's been nagging you for years, we can help. At Arasti, we've earned the trust of over 8,000 physicians by delivering fast, lasting pain relief without painkillers or surgery. Our hands-on approach targets the root cause of pain, and most patients see results in just one visit. No referral needed, and it's covered by most insurance plans. So don't wait. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti. We fix pain fast.
You know the rush when you reach that goal? When something you've worked for pays off? That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start January 7th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she doesn't love is when it suddenly rains. As she sits underneath a bridge waiting for it to stop, she grows quite fond of the graffiti on the overpass. She really likes the one with John Hart's Claire and wonders if they're still together. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
What does it mean to work with one of the largest personal injury law firms in Texas? At Thomas J. Henry, it means we can put our team of experts to work for you. Visit thomasjhenrylaw.com. The name you know, the firm you trust. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Yeehaw! How about that little country Christmas? For you here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix has the day off. Happy you're spending part of your Christmas Eve with us here on the Blitz. Thank you so much. Lots going on. Big sports day tomorrow. Whether you're talking basketball, San Antonio Spurs in Oklahoma City, that's going to be a huge game. Can the Spurs make it 3 in a row? We're going to talk more Spurs basketball coming up here in just a moment. Cowboys also play, in a lot of folks, maybe a meaningless game for the Dallas Cowboys. It is still the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commandskins. I'm sure people will tune into that. You got Detroit and Minnesota after that. And, boy, then you got Denver and Kansas City after that. Netflix kind of got the short end of the stick, although all of those matchups look pretty good when they put them on paper, but it didn't kind of work out that way. Cowboys have left the Star en route to our nation's capital, and they will take on the Commandskins there tomorrow. A lot of the talk, though, here lately, because obviously the Cowboys are out of the playoffs. They're not going anywhere. They've got 2 games left. All that they can do now is finish 500, win 8 games. They're 2 left, 6-8-1 right now. They can finish 8-8-1, and that's the best that they can do, and then start looking forward to next year and figuring out what they can do to improve this club. I will say this, and I know that Jerry and I get accused of taking up for Jerry Jones a little too much, and maybe that's true. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm going to call it as I see it. The problem is I think the foundation defensively is there, at least on that front line. They need to add a pass rusher. I don't think there's any question about that. And they need some secondary help. There's no question about that. So we'll see what they do and how Jerry spends those draft picks and the draft capital that he currently has. When you look at Brian Schottenheimer, first-year head coach, Took him until he was in his 50s to become a head coach. Jerry gives him that opportunity. By most accounts, most people that I talk to give Shotty a passing grade this year. I think there were times where you could see his inexperience. I think the last game against the Chargers was one of them. Coming out of the halftime locker room against Jim Harbaugh, I think Harbaugh made the adjustments, and Shotty could not adjust to those adjustments. And I think that was clear. I mean, the Cowboys were shut out in the second half in that ball game at home. That powerful Cowboys offense that everybody raves about. They were shut out. So I think that a lot of that is on Brian Schottenheimer. You got to blame the players a little bit too, but mostly I think Brian Schottenheimer. So Shotty admitted in his press conference yesterday that there are ways, and a lot of ways, that he needs to continue to grow as a head coach.
Yeah, I think the starting point, the answer is absolutely in every regard. You know, part of being the head coach of a football team is that you have to oversee everything. You know, you're involved in personnel, you're involved in all really day-to-day operations, but when you talk about the actual football that goes on, it's really all three phases. It's not just offense, it's defense, it's special teams. As I look back on year one, and we'll evaluate this after the season goes, you know, finding those pockets of time where you can go in and spend, you know, more time with Nick and just talk about some of the plans for special teams. We, of course, have meetings. We talk about things, but there's probably, you know, different ways to do that. And I'll certainly spend time this offseason talking to some of my mentors and people around the league that have been doing this for a while and just kind of see how they do it. But the answer is I'm always looking to grow, and, you know, I want to take that next step.
Well, we'll see if he does. And look, he's going to get an opportunity. And Shotty's going to get the opportunity. That's just how Jerry works. Shotty will be there for several years to come. I mean, unless things just go completely haywire. Now, Matt Eberflus, I think he's gone after this year, and they'll have to start over with another defensive coordinator. I just hope Jerry gives him, Shotty, the opportunity to have big-time input on that, if not all the input on that. But again, we're talking about Jerry Jones, and who knows. Then you've got the next two games coming up for the Cowboys. Out of the playoff picture. The next two teams they play are out of the playoff picture, the Commanders and the Giants. What do you do when you want to get a look at some of the young players on your team? Well, I'm sure he would, but Shotty has said, I want to win as well.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Again, I think, you know, as the hard part, I'll speak to this week in general because they're very different weeks, right? Like this week, it's you barely practice, right? Yesterday we walked through. Today we did a little bit. We'll do a little bit. Tomorrow we do nothing, basically, but a walk. Next week, younger guys can earn more opportunities because we'll actually have a full week of prep, whether we play Saturday or Sunday. We'll find that out on Sunday, and it'll either be a normal 7-day routine for us or, you know, 6-day routine. But I'm all for younger guys playing, but they have to earn the right to play because they have to earn the right for us to feel like they can help us win. And I think that's the way you look at it. Each case is case by case, and those guys know that.
You know, I will say, and I love what he just said there. It doesn't care that the NFL is not a developmental league. It's just not. And I know you get folks, including my partners, that you got to develop people. No, it's pro football. There's no development. If you're going to develop, you develop in college or go to the spring leagues. The NFL, you got to come and play. Your best players have to play. You don't take time away from your best players to try and develop somebody else. To me, that's not what the NFL is. It's not a developmental league. So the young players have to earn the right to play. Quote from Brian Schottenheimer just now. We just all heard it. And I agree with that completely. That is absolutely the way it is. You've got to earn every day in practice the right to play. Trayvon Diggs found that out with Brian Schottenheimer. You've got to earn the right to play. I don't care who you are. And I love that answer from him. So you play guys, you play the best guys because you're playing in a football game. It's not a football game. It's not a preseason game. It's not a game that you just go, whatever. It doesn't matter what happens. We're out of it anyway, so the hell with it. They're playing on Christmas Day. You're going to showcase your team. you want to be successful. We can talk about draft picks and tanking and all of this kind of nonsense that everybody just loves to talk about. Oh, we need that better draft pick. Got to have that better draft pick. Let's lose on purpose. It just goes against everything that sports is. Now, granted, I had to, I guess, eat my words a little bit, although I didn't like it. When all of y'all were telling me, see, we tanked, and guess what? We got Wemby. It worked. It worked exactly how it's supposed to work. Doesn't make it right. It just doesn't. And it goes against everything that sports is all about. Every single thing that sports is all about. I guarantee you the players that are wearing that Washington Commanders uniform tomorrow will be out there busting their butts. I don't think they're good enough to beat the Cowboys tomorrow, unless the Cowboys help them, and that's always possible. But they're going to be out there busting their butts because there's a lot of these guys are playing for jobs. Not only playing for jobs, they're playing for incentives in their contracts. And you can't just go and say, hey, why don't you just take it easy this play because, well, we can get a better draft pick. We can do this. We can do that. It's a job. You don't show up to your job and say, I'm just going to take it easy today. Can't do it today. I don't feel like it. And if I don't do this, well, I'll get a bigger bonus. I don't know. Bad example, I know. But I'm just saying. You just don't do that. And you can't do that. It goes against everything that there is. You got to do your job. And I love, Edwin, I don't know. Can we hear that soundbite again that I just played? I want to hear it one more time.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Again, I think, as the hard part, I'll speak to this week in general because they're very different weeks, right? Like this week, it's you barely practice, right? Yesterday we walked through. Today we did a little bit. We'll do a little bit. Tomorrow we do nothing, basically, but a walk. Next week, younger guys can earn more opportunities because we'll actually have a full week of prep, whether we play Saturday or Sunday. We'll find that out on Sunday, and it'll either be a normal 7-day routine for us or, 6-day routine. But I'm all for younger guys playing, but they have to earn the right to play because they have to earn the right for us to feel like they can help us win. And I think that's the way you look at it. Each case is case by case, and those guys know that.
That is outstanding. And I tell you, I love what he just said right there. A lot of respect for what he said there and how he feels about it. And I genuinely believe he feels that way because he's talking about competing every day. That's what he does. So I love what he said there, and good for him. Good for him. You don't just play young players because, well, the old guys need to sit and we're scared to get them hurt and yada, yada, yada. Right? It's just ridiculous. So good for you, Shotty. And Dak will play tomorrow, and I think most of the starters will play as well. In fact, Dak Prescott said if he was told not to play the next 2 games, he'd fight Shotty on it.
I'd fight him, particularly right now going in this game, getting a chance to play on Christmas Day, first time. Also, just in the fact of being away from my family. And I'm not trying to be away from my family if I'm not going to get to play this game and get to do something that I love at a high level and finish a good individual season, I guess you can say, off strong. You said, 15 games under the belt. I want to make it 17 and just show that every chance I get out there, I'm just trying to play to my standard and expectations. And not only that, as we're just talking about how important it is to stop this losing streak and finish the season off with 2 wins. So, yeah, I'd play and I'd fight him for it.
Interesting that he would fight him for it. And I would have a feeling it would take a pretty good argument from Shotty to put Prescott on the bench. Now, having said that, I predict that Prescott won't play in that final game against the Giants. I just have that feeling that Joe Milton will get in there. He'll play. A lot of the other guys will play in that particular case. But in this one, it doesn't appear that they're going to do that, and I have a lot of respect for that. Obviously, Dak Prescott has been through this before. This is the second year in a row the Cowboys have not made the playoffs. And they haven't had a lot of success under Dak Prescott when they have made the playoffs. But I think there's something happening. And look, you got to stay optimistic. Yeah, I get it. And this could just all be lip service. You take it as you will. But Dak Prescott says this team won't be back in this position next season.
We won't be back here in this spot. I feel like the last few times I've probably said that were playoff losses. right? Each year has its own troubles. Each year has its own highs, lows, ebbs and flows, and everything within it. And I think for the importance is controlling what you can. And I say that you started off the question by saying exactly, right? I'm going to do my damnedest, controlling what I can. And, as you get older, I think to go back to your question maybe 2 weeks ago, having more input, having more say-so, and being asked more questions from the front office, maybe there's a little bit more that I can do, and it's not just physically or me getting better at my game, and maybe it's, speaking up and saying that this will help or I think this can help. And so whatever it takes, once again, I'm going to do my damnedest and make sure that I'm influencing and encouraging everybody else around me, not just players, to do the same.
Again, I'm going to give that man all the credit in the world. He is a great leader, good teammate. It's just in the brightest lights, he has come up short. Will that change? I guess that remains to be seen. But he just hasn't been able to get that done, nor has guys like Tony Romo either. And I think he and Dak Prescott are very similar in what they do. Both good quarterbacks, good leaders. They just haven't been able to get it done when the lights are the brightest, that's for sure. Having said all of that, Dak Prescott had a pretty good year this year, and in fact, it earned him a Pro Bowl selection. That came out yesterday. We weren't here, so I wanted to just go over it. The Cowboys had 5 players. Think about that. 5 players make the Pro Bowl roster on a team that right now is 6-8-1. That's pretty incredible. Dak Prescott makes it. George Pickens makes it. Tyler Smith makes it. Quinnen Williams, one of their newest additions, makes it. And, of course, Brandon Aubrey, who's a no-brainer, best kicker in the league right now. For the Houston Texans, Nico Collins is a Pro Bowler. Will Anderson Jr. is a Pro Bowler. Azeez Al-Shaair is also a Pro Bowler for the Texans, as is Derek Stingley Jr., Pro Bowler. So congratulations to the Texans. Congratulations to the Cowboys that made the Pro Bowl roster. It's a big deal because there's a lot of incentives in contracts about making the Pro Bowl. Now, I don't know if all 9 of those guys will show up and participate in Pro Bowl activities. That remains to be seen. Some do, some don't. Now that it's more of a kind of a competition, other than a game, it's more of a show than it is, anything else, because the game sucked. I mean, let's face it, the game sucked. It's kind of like the NBA All-Star game these days. I have no interest. Major League Baseball game, you watch because it's on, but that's about it. So whether they play or not remains to be seen, but congratulations, because it is a big deal to be named a Pro Bowler. As far as George Pickens goes, his first year in Dallas, and there's questions about what's going to happen to him. Will he remain there? Will Jerry franchise tag him? Will they give him an extension? Or will they let him walk? I mean, all of those things are possible, I guess, at this point in time. But Shotty was asked if he was surprised by Pickens' performance this season.
I can't say that I really have thought about it. I knew we were getting a great player. I knew that the people that had talked about his past and what he was like, which to me, I'll start there. I always want to start there with George because he's just such a lovable guy and he's so fun to be around, and he's just GP. But I think the production comes because of the way he's worked. I think his connection with Dak is awesome. But again, CD deserves a lot of credit as well, and that's why I think when I talked about CD earlier, I mean, these guys draw attention away from one another, and I think their relationship is very, very important. So I think the numbers speak for themselves, but I didn't have he's going to go for 1,200, 1,400, whatever it is. I just knew we were getting a great player.
Well, they certainly did, and he was a pretty good player for the most part all season long, with the exception of a couple of games where he didn't really show up. We'll see what happens to George Pickens. I know a lot of Cowboy fans are hoping that he sticks around and that Jerry signs him and makes him a Cowboy for a long time. It remains to be seen. As usual, it's going to be an extremely entertaining offseason when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. Fortunately for you Texans fans, you still got a postseason to look forward to. Texans very much with a chance to be around and play in the postseason. And who knows, in the wide-open AFC right now, the Texans, I think, may have as good a chance as anybody to knock on the door of the Super Bowl. There was just a couple weeks ago, several weeks ago, I don't think anybody thought that was possible. But with the way they're playing, it is possible. And they got a big game this Sunday against the L.A. Chargers out in La La Land So that's going to be a big test for them. For sure, both of those teams will be fighting for their playoff lives, for sure, certainly for playoff seedings. Houston maybe more so than the Chargers at this point in time, because I think the Chargers are going to get in unless they just lose both games and some things happen. But Houston, I think, really needs to win both of their remaining games. Going to be interesting. Going to be very interesting to see what happens when it comes to that. Hey, we just gave away a 4-pack of a family 4-pack, in fact, to go see the Navy All-American Bowl at 12:30 on January 10th, which that 4-pack will also get you into the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero at 5:30, plus 4 Whataburger coupons. Guess what? Santa has given us another one. And so we're going to give away another family 4-pack. And if you lost out on the first one, guess what? You may not lose out on the second one. 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. Caller number 7. You will win that family 4-pack. We'll continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line. Touchdown, Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
Bag is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GRAVY25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Kinetico water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Kinetico of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at KineticoSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
I'm worth more.
Am I worth more? Yeah.
I'm worth a whole lot more.
You know what? You're right. At GiveMeTheVIN.com, you are worth more, and your car's worth more, and we want to pay more at Give Me the VIN, because good cars are worth more, and so are you. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVIN.com, America's best car buyer. And remember, if we don't beat a deal from Carvana or CarMax, we'll pay you $100.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she doesn't love is when it suddenly rains. As she sits underneath a bridge waiting for it to stop, she grows quite fond of the graffiti on the overpass. She really likes the one with John Hart's Claire and wonders if they're still together. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in DC.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Uncover the root of your problems and improve the quality of your life. I'm Dr. Torres from the Institute for Functional Health. For more than a decade, we have helped people restore energy, vitality, libido, and drive. Most patients come to us because they feel unheard or stuck. Schedule your discovery day. We'll talk about your history, run advanced testing, and build a personalized plan that fits your life. We have helped thousands of people just like you. Call 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. 210-468-1891.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Boy, how about those San Antonio Spurs knocking off the OK City Thunder for the second straight time last night, 130-110. They're back at it tomorrow, this time, though, in Oklahoma City for a Christmas Day game. Tip-off there set for 1:30. Dallas Cowboys announced today they placed offensive tackle Tyler Guyton on IR. They've signed defensive back Corey Ballantyne and linebacker Justin Barron from the practice squad.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
With a ho-ho-ho.
Hump day.
And a ho-ho-ho. Because
Hump
you can't have
day.
a hump without a hoe, and a hoe and hoe. Happy hump day, everybody. Happy Christmas Eve. Oh, my goodness. Props to everybody for showing up here today. We appreciate you spending some time with us on this magical day, a little Christmas Eve here in San Antonio, Texas, and South Texas. And it's just a great day. I'm in the Christmas spirit. It is a fantastic day, and just looking forward to Christmas time. One of my, well, not one of them. It is my favorite time of year. I love this time of year. It is just fantastic. So thanks for spending some time with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix is off. He's spending some time with his family today. Hope they are having a great time. And I have to give a shout out to all the fine folks on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page for helping me do my job. Yeah, you didn't know that you were doing that, but you did. Everybody talking about the Pick'em Challenge on our San Antonio Sports Star website. Go there, make your picks because the season, continues tomorrow. 3 NFL games tomorrow, including the Cowboys and the Washington Commandskins. Get your picks in. Now, Fred was making fun of me because, he said, I see you slipped into second place. You're slipping. I'm not slipping. I'm exactly where I want to be. You don't want to be a front runner, Fred. You want to be right there, just kind of breathing down the front runner's neck. That's where you want to be. I'm right exactly where I need to be on the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge. You need to go there because weekly winners get a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Local grand prize winner gets $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. It is the SA Sports Star Pro Football Pick'em Challenge. Go there and get your picks in. Now, again, a big Thursday night of NFL games, Thursday afternoon, all day. And you can hear it all right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Obviously, the Cowboys game, we'll carry that here on 94.1 the Cowboys broadcast of that. We'll do that. And then we've got a triple header on ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. It starts with the main broadcast, the network broadcast of the Cowboys and Commanders, followed by the Vikings and Lions, finishes with the Broncos and Chiefs. And, of course, it's all brought to you by Flight by Yingling. Now, when it comes to the Cowboys play-by-play, a lot of great sponsors there I want to give a shout-out to. We'll get you started here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star at 11 o'clock with a pregame show. Of course, Cowboys football presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam. South Texas home for the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Got the business out of the way. And happy to do that because the fine sponsors support them, by the way. I could use a little Hornitos Tequila right now, I think. It might help the old throat out, Edwin. I'm not sure about that, but I think it couldn't hurt. Could not hurt. Fred Gonzalez and James Metzger have won the 2 family 4-packs that we've given away today. And, well, Santa just popped his head back in here. And we got 2 more of those family 4-packs that we're going to be giving away here at some point in time before the end of the show. As we roll into the 4 o'clock hour here on 94.1. Interesting day. It's kind of one of those weeks, right? The holiday week. I know a lot of you have brought up that the guys in the morning huddle have not been in all week. They're not going to be in all week. And that's, they needed some time off for Christmas, so it's all good. They'll be back next week. For us, we've got college football here in the afternoon that sometimes gets us gets us a day off, like yesterday. Worked Monday, off yesterday, back today. Of course, tomorrow's Christmas Day. And then Friday, we've got football on 94.1. So we won't be on Friday either. But it is what it is, and it kind of gives us a little bit of an extra break. And I appreciate it because we like being here with you guys, especially on a Monday after a football weekend and all of that kind of stuff. So, but it was a nice opportunity yesterday because of the job, and I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about. It's very difficult. I love to play golf, but it's difficult to get out and play golf on a weekday. So I was able to get out yesterday. Me and James Pledger went out, and we hit the links on a Tuesday. And it really felt weird because I'm a weekend golfer. You like to go out on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, whatever the case is. And usually I'll do that when it's not football season. But we got out yesterday and had a great time. The weather was fantastic, and Pledge and I were out there. And I have to say, and I'll give Pledge all the props. He's not here today. Edwin Hafner's in here producing the show today. Pledge is off, but Pledge beat me. I don't know how close it was.
You allowed him to beat you?
Well, I won't even say that,
you took
Edwin.
it easy on him, didn't
I
you?
won't even say that. I hadn't played in a while, so I was a little rusty. It's been a few weeks since I played. What I will say, while I'll give Pledge the credit for winning yesterday, I think it was me that won in the long run. And I say that, and again, I'll give Pledge all the credit in the world. I'm out there the first, couple of holes. I'm not hitting the ball all that great. Well, James Pledger, who some of you know, some of you may not know, was trying to become a pro golfer. So the guy, he can play. At times, he's inconsistent as hell. I will say that, as all amateur golfers are. But he still knows what to do and what to look for. And he told me of a little thing that I was doing wrong. And when I started doing that right, all of a sudden, I was hitting the ball like crazy. It was fantastic. So I appreciate Pledge for the tip. And again, so I'm going to give him all the credit. Still means there's got to be a rubber match because I beat him the first time. He beats me the second time. We'll have to go back out and settle this thing once and for all. But he may regret giving me that tip. I'm just saying. I was hitting the ball really well. But it was kind of nice to get out there. And I guess the point is that y'all probably don't give a damn other than to say it's just kind of nice to be able to do that during the holiday season. And I hope everybody's getting an opportunity to do some things like that. I'm really looking forward to tonight, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I hope you guys and gals are as well. Tonight, it's just Maggie and I, which is kind of cool. We got a little date night, dinner reservations tonight, then back to the house to, go back to the house. And then Christmas morning, we've got nothing to wake up to. all my family will come over then at Christmas night. So that's kind of our tradition at the Reinagel household for Christmas. Christmas Eve's pretty quiet with just Maggie and I. Christmas morning pretty quiet with just Maggie and I. All our kids are gone. They've got kids of their own, so they're doing their thing. Santa Claus will come to their house, and then they'll come and get presents and stuff at our house as well. So what traditions do you guys have? Anything special? Anything that you do that you've been doing for years, that you've been doing, or maybe new traditions with your new family, or however the case may be? I know a lot of you guys are making dinners and stuff like that and having a few cold drinks and all of that. I don't know. I like to know people's holiday traditions. It's just kind of cool to me. I just think it's one of those times where you can make those traditions and keep them. And I don't know, it's special. It's just special, especially this time of year. So what do? Anybody got anything special that they want to share with us? You can do that. You can go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. You can get me on Twitter at Joe Reinagel210, or you can do it the old-fashioned way and give me a call, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let us know if you feel like you want to share, or you just want to spread some holiday cheer and wish everybody a Merry Christmas. That would be okay. Gary Murphy says, tamale Frito pie. Wow. That sounds delicious. That really does sound delicious. Tamale Frito pie. I'm wondering, Gary, and correct me if I'm wrong, tamales, I would assume a little chili, and then the Fritos. That just sounds fantastic. I've never thought about that. So I've also got E.T. there, says he works for an airline, so he's working today and tomorrow, and I bet it's, I don't know, is it busy today or tomorrow? I would think tomorrow wouldn't be very busy at all for the airlines. Not sure. I've never flown on Christmas Day, so I'm not sure exactly what that does or how that works and all that. I've always heard, though, flying on a holiday, a major holiday, number one, is a little bit cheaper. And number two, the planes aren't as crowded. So, I don't know. Interesting. I'll have to try that sometime, I guess, and fly on a Thanksgiving Day or a Christmas Day and see if it's any better or whatever for the pocketbook and for the legroom when it comes to an airline. Not sure. I just hope everybody's having a great day. Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to everybody. Glad you were sticking around here and spending it with us. The NBA is trying to do away with tanking, apparently. At least they're talking about it, because they're talking about anti-tanking rules. I'm going to let you know some of the things that they're tossing around, spaghetti on the wall kind of stuff, to maybe do away with teams tanking. Interesting stuff. We'll talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, let me brag a little bit about my Connecticut Quality Water Softener. I love this thing. I absolutely love this thing. And it has exceeded my expectations, because when I got it, I'm thinking, look, it can't be that much better than anything else I've ever had, because I've had other water softeners in other houses I've lived in. But this one is head and shoulders above anything I've ever had. And you can tell the difference right away. That's the thing. Man, when you get out of the shower, you feel better. Your clothes out of the washing machine feel better. The dishes out of the dishwasher are cleaner. It's amazing. It really is. Connecticut is the best product on the market. There's no doubt about it. It's the most popular water softener on the market for sure. They've been serving San Antonio for over 50 years, and all their products are made right here in America. And I love the fact that it doesn't run on electricity. So it's not going to increase your electric bill, that's for sure, but it will provide soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Unbelievable product. It really is. And to sweeten the pot, the fine folks at Connecticut, well, they're going to give you a free reverse osmosis drinking station that they're going to install right there at your kitchen sink. It's like having bottled water right there at your kitchen sink. It is an incredible deal. I love mine. Plus, they're going to give you 0% interest for 12 months. Free money for 12 months. You can't beat that deal. Give them a call. Give them a call. Give yourself a Christmas present. 656-PURE, 656-7873. Or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. You know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656 Pure Connecticut.
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Christmas Day at noon. The Cowboys are in Maryland, taking on the Washington Commanders at FedEx Field. Pre-game at 11. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam.
How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
How's the heating and AC at your house? If you've got any issues, you've got to call Right Home Services. Veteran owned and operated. They've been serving San Antonio for more than 45 years now. They're certified, background checked, and highly trained professionals. And right now, Right Home Services has a great special. This is for a whole home AC system replacement, $79.99 right now. The number's 210-444-0000, Right Home Services.
The right stuff.
By texting 24700, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from J.Crew Factory. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at jcrew.com.
Need last-minute gifts? J.Crew Factory has got you covered. Enjoy up to 60% off store-wide and shop cozy matching pajamas, toasty sweaters, amazing outerwear, festive accessories, and so much more. Get in the spirit at J.Crew Factory, where you'll score our exclusive collection of classic styles for the whole family at prices that can't be beat. And today, save even more. Just text GIFTING to 24700 to receive an extra $25 off your purchase of $75 or more at your nearest J.Crew Factory store. Visit jcrewfactory.com to find your nearest San Antonio area store today. But first, get an extra $25 off your purchase of $75 or more when you text GIFTING to 24700. Text GIFTING to 24700 to get your $25 off coupon. That's GIFTING to 24700. See a store associate for details.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cash back app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GRAVY25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
America's Diamond has never sold lab-grown diamonds, and we warned our clients, friends, and neighbors that wholesale prices would crash to almost nothing. 2-carat GVS2 lab-grown diamonds are currently being traded at wholesale for $264, but some jewelers are still selling them online for $3,000 to $4,000. Repeat, wholesale $264, retail $3,000 to $4,000. Some retailers are selling 1-carat lab-grown diamonds for under $300, and others are giving them away for free with purchase. Lab-grown diamonds are very easy to detect with gemological equipment. Tens of millions of carats are produced in huge factories in China and India, using a tremendous amount of subsidized electricity supplied by coal-burning power plants. America's Diamond has only offered traditional, real, natural earth-grown diamonds that are rare, extremely beautiful, and have had real value for centuries. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
That's a good one, Edwin. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy Christmas Eve. Man, it's hard to believe it's already Christmas Eve. Unbelievable. Get your hot cocoa out, your toddy, whatever you put in that thing, a little peppermint, whatever the case may be. It's a little too hot to light a fire, so that's not going to work. But whatever you do on Christmas Eve, do it, enjoy it with family, friends, or however you're doing it. Just thanks for stopping by here. We really appreciate it here on the Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix is off. He's spending some time with his family today, and we're happy for him, that's for sure. But I'm glad to be spending this Christmas day, or Christmas Eve day, part of it anyway, with all of you fine folks out there, and thank you for stopping by. You know, we talk about tanking on this show, and rightly so, because, I mean, let's face it, the Spurs have done it, and it's paid off for them. There are a lot of folks that say they did it to nab Tim Duncan. I don't know. I mean, David Robinson got hurt. I don't think that he faked that. It was just kind of what happened. Now, once he got hurt, then it's a different story, and you kind of figure, well, you didn't have a chance anyway, so you might as well go after Timmy D, and it worked out well for the Spurs. Then, of course, here recently, with one Victor Wembanyama. That was clearly a tank job. I don't think there's any question about it. And it worked. It worked out. Spurs got lucky. They got the number 1 pick in the draft, and they drafted Wemby. Spurs did not tank necessarily last year, but they still got lucky and got the number 2 pick, ended up with Dylan Harper. So the Spurs have had a pretty good run when it comes to draft lottery luck. And they've taken advantage of it, and they've done a good job in rebuilding this team, and they've done it pretty quickly. But they've done it in not only through the lottery, but also through veteran leadership. When you're looking at trading for De'Aaron Fox, brilliant move, a veteran leader who came in here to run this ball club. Harrison Barnes has been good. They've got Luke Cornett, who's been good, and there are other guys that they've gotten from the draft have started to develop. I'm talking about Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell finally knowing their roles and fitting into those roles that they need. Well, tanking is a problem. It's a problem for any sport. We're kind of seeing some of that, I think, now in the NFL. The New York Jets. I was going to say the Las Vegas Raiders, although they gave the Houston Texans pretty much everything they could handle last weekend. And I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Giants this weekend. The Giants could be another team that are on the verge of tanking. We'll see. Well, the NBA, according to Shams Charania, is talking about rule changes to prevent tanking, or at least discourage it. And I find it interesting because according to Shams, it's the NBA and its stakeholders are the ones that are talking about that, and they're trying to find new solutions to prevent tanking. The league has proposed multiple ideas to the Board of Governors for them to consider. Now, nothing is in writing. Nothing is even close the way I understand it. But there are some things that they're looking at that might deter teams. One of them, if they implement this, would have affected the Spurs last year. They would not have had the opportunity to pick Dylan Harper. And here's why. Because they picked Victor Wembanyama. If these rules go into effect, it would no longer allow a team to draft in the top 4 2 years in a row. Now, I'm trying to think. Now, I guess it wouldn't have Steph Castle, because the Spurs did it 3 times in a row. If my math is right, and you guys will correct me, I know if I'm wrong. You got Wemby, you got Castle, and then you got Dylan Harper. So the Spurs would have missed out on a Steph Castle because they did get him at number 4, so they wouldn't have been able to pick within the top 4. That's a possibility. No longer, locking lottery positions after March 1st. I'm not sure exactly what that means by locking lottery positions. Or I guess you're locked in, and so you can't tank to try and knock somebody else out after March 1st. So in other words, you got New Orleans, Atlanta, 4 teams in there. After March 1st, they're locked in. They're the bottom 4. Nobody else can drop and take their spot. That's a possibility. And limiting pick protections to either top 4 or 14 and higher. In other words, if you trade and one of the trades is a draft pick, but it is a pick protected top 4 or 14 or higher, so they're going to change that rule around. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Do we need a rule or rules that prevent tanking? I'm all for it if it makes sense. I love the rule about not being able to draft in the top 4 2 years in a row. Although it would have affected the Spurs, would have affected probably the OKC Thunder, and many, many other teams. Now, they go on to say, look, they don't want to discourage. They don't want to discourage teams from rebuilding. They want teams to rebuild, obviously. So what do? You got to find a good mix. And that could very well be the problem. But the NBA knows it's a problem. When you get down to the end of the season, and this is, again, it's an issue for every professional sports league. But in the NBA, it seems to be more glaring than others. I mean, it really does, to me anyway. When you see teams not even trying, or, coaches putting in substitutions or not playing guys or whatever the case may be, it just looks bad for the league. And you guys have heard me talk about this, and I know a lot of you disagree with me, and that's fine. But it goes against everything about sports, because sports is about winning on any level. That's why you play the game, is it not? And I understand, if there's a generational talent like a Wemby, like a Cooper Flagg, who, by the way, is starting to play really well. Dallas beat Denver last night. I digress. When you've got players like that, it's hard not to want to tank and have more of an opportunity to have that player. And the draft lottery, I think, is fair. I don't mind the draft lottery system because there's a lot of times where the worst team doesn't get the best pick. And we saw that last year. The Spurs were near the top of the lottery chain and ended up with the second pick in the draft. And you get another phenomenal player in Dylan Harper. So I think the draft lottery system is fair. It's a fair system. I have no problem with that. But I'm all for some protections where no problem trying to fix this thing. I just don't like it. Now, Fred Records on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page is saying, I'm spouting some BS. He says, I'm a gambler. He says, leave it. Leave as is. If the team draws it 3 or 4 times in a row, let it be. I understand what you're talking about. Look, I just don't like the blanket. And because I am a gambler, Fred, if I'm gambling on NBA games late in the season and teams are tanking, well, that's not fair for anybody, is it? Now, if I know that and I go the other side and take advantage of it, I guess you could say that's a fair thing. I don't like tanking. I don't like it at all. It just, again, goes against everything that I believe in sports, and I think what sports is all about. And I think the NBA sees this. And I think that's why they're talking about this, obviously, right? They wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't a problem. It's a problem. And you'll see it again this year. You will absolutely see it again this year as teams begin. So we turn the calendar into January, February, March, and teams are out of it. And what's their incentive to win? There is none. There is no incentive to win. Their only incentive right now, with the way the system is, the way the rules are in place, is to lose. That's their incentive, so they get more balls in the ping pong hopper. More opportunities to get the number 1 pick. There are two thoughts there. You want teams that are bad to rebuild. Although there are some teams that never rebuild. And not every number 1 pick is a guaranteed success. Look at New Orleans, for example. Zion Williamson was supposed to be the next. Guy can't stay on the floor. And there's a lot of those guys out there. There's a long list of, so-called no-miss prospects that miss big time. So I'm glad they're talking about it. Nothing is imminent, but I'm glad they're talking about it, and they should be talking about it. And Adam Silver knows there's a problem, and that's why they're talking about it. So talk about it and come up with a solution. It's easy for me to sit up here and come up with a solution or say come up with a solution. It's the same thing I've been saying about college football. But there's got to be some people smarter than I am. I don't know. Maybe I could go home over this little Christmas break we're about to have and jot down a bunch of stuff on a napkin and figure it out. Well, I'm not that smart. But somebody is. We got to figure this thing out. People have been doing this for a long, long time. Long time. Figure it out and get it done. Were there any of those rules, Fred, for example, any of those rules that you like? I mean, any of them that you would go for? Now Fred's making fun of me for not putting my blinker on when I'm trying to merge into a lane. Fred, I tell you, was that you in that van? I'm just wondering. It might have been. Not sure. I don't know. Think about that. And as always, I'd like to hear what you think about it. Obviously, Fred doesn't agree. He wants to leave it as it is. And if that's the way you feel, that's fine. That's not a problem. I disagree completely, though. Couldn't disagree more. I hate tanking. I don't want tanking in any sport. And in the NBA, it's more blatant than in other sports. It's just terrible. The good news is, though, Fred and everybody else, the Spurs aren't tanking this year. In fact, they just, I think they believe, at least at this point in time, they can win the whole damn thing. They're incredible and playing incredible basketball. Let's talk some Spurs basketball. Why not? We'll do that when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Stars $50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The $50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
You know me, you listen to this show enough, you know the Roo Pub is my go-to spot. There is no better place to go watch any big game, any big event than the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road with those three massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. Get into the Roo Pub with all the big games that are going on, whether it's the college bowl games and college playoffs, the NFL, NBA. No better place to escape the family in town than at the Roo Pub. And you know, the food there is fantastic. Not just a great bar, but a great restaurant. They have great fried shrimp, the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu, great appetizers, great salads. You got family in town, take them with you. The game will be on. The drinks are going to be cold. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, great to escape the family in town. The Roo Pub, just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. Football season is heading into the home stretch. Jay Seminix here for Underdog, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Plus, with Underdog Unwrapped, you'll unwrap tons of promos all throughout the holidays. They've got boosts, gimme pigs, deal reveals, and even some surprises sprinkled in. Now is the best time to get in the game, and of course, you can make your picks and win money right here in Texas, and it's easy to do it. You just pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get your picks right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the Underdog app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here with a question. Are you traveling this holiday season? I want you to make sure your pups are taken care of at Bluebonnet Bunk and Biscuit. They offer the best in luxury pet care with tons of space to play, plus spa and training. Call 210-750-1298 to make your reservations at Bluebonnet Bunk and Biscuit.
Want to be the block party hero this year? Head to Off Fireworks Megastore, just 2 miles outside 1604 and Petrenko. Get the loudest deals. Buy 2, get 1 free on 500-gram aerials and reloadable artillery shells, plus more. Light it up at Off Fireworks, 13022 Petrenko Road.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Get a great deal on select Kubota construction equipment featuring durable Kubota engines. More comfort, more productivity, more get it done right. Right now, write it off a lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 36 months or save up to $4,500. Now through December 31st. Subject to credit approval. Consult your tax advisor. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full details.
From the Texas coast to the Texas Hill Country, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Lowest prices, biggest selection. Lowest prices, biggest selection.
At Mr. W Fireworks, we have always offered the lowest prices on fireworks.
And we always will.
We never charge additional hidden fees, and we always price our fireworks more than 50% less than the other guys. When you shop at Mr. W Fireworks, you can be sure you are getting the lowest prices around.
And the biggest selection. Look for the big W on our sign.
Or visit MrWFireworks.com to find a location near you.
Happy New Year!
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water station when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
ConnecticutSA.com.
You know, I don't know, Edwin, there might be some folks on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page that are on the naughty list. It's possible.
I think most of them are.
You think most of them are?
Yeah.
Because Santa's coming, and you know they're going to have the radar. I mean, he's already started, right? I mean, it's Christmas Eve night.
It started this morning.
Right? Yeah, like in
saw
Australia.
It on the news this morning.
Oh, wow. So Santa was out and about already. He'll be coming here. So I love looking at that, watching him on the radar thing. What do they call that? The I don't know what they call that thing. But Santa, he'll be a blip there, and
Santa Mobile or whatever.
Whatever it is, whatever radar that is, looking that I don't know, man. That's pretty cool. Santa Claus is coming to town. Hard to believe it's Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas Eve, everybody. So happy you stopped by here and spent some time with us here on the Blitz. I'm Joe. Jason is off today, enjoying some time with his family on this Christmas Eve, and I hope you are as well, or certainly have plans to do so with family, with friends, however you choose to spend your Christmas Eve night, and then, of course, Christmas Day tomorrow. It's incredible. A lot of sports tomorrow. A lot of sports. A lot of them you can listen to right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Dallas Cowboys, we'll get you going at 11 o'clock with the pregame show. Brad Sham and company. They'll get you going here. Kickoff is at noon from Washington. That's where they're going. It's all presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam. Of course, South Texas home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you want to listen to the national broadcast of the Cowboys game, you can do that because we'll have the Christmas Day triple header on ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Starts at noon with the Cowboys and Commanders, Vikings and Lions after that. Finishes off with the Broncos and the Chiefs, and it's all brought to you by Flight by Yingling. So we got you covered here. There's also some NBA basketball tomorrow, including the red-hot San Antonio Spurs. They will be in Oklahoma City tomorrow to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team the Spurs have beaten twice. Thunder only have 4 losses on the season. 2 of them are at the hands of the Silver and Black, and the Spurs get an opportunity to make that 3 tomorrow in OKC. Ought to be a dandy because I'm assuming that Oklahoma City is going to come out with a lot of fire. They don't want to get beat 3 times by this up-and-coming, this upstart San Antonio Spurs team. It may be more difficult than that, though. What I love about this team, and you guys, please tell me what you think. If you want to react to the Spurs, do so. Whether that's on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, on Twitter, at Joe Reinagle 210, or on the phone lines at 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. Your thoughts on the San Antonio Spurs. My initial thought is what's making the difference with this team right now. Number one, there's no one focal point. They've had a variety of leading scorers on this ball club over this winning streak. It's been somebody different as it seems. Of course, Wemby is still playing limited minutes. He's still coming off the bench, but they're still getting it done. The defense, to me, is the difference with this ball club. The defense that they're playing, the aggressiveness that they're playing with. They're getting after teams, especially in Oklahoma City. They're getting after them. They're into them, into the chest. I mean, they're being physical with teams, and I love it. That brand of basketball has been a success here in San Antonio for a long time, and I'm preaching to the choir. I know, but that's the solution. That's the formula. And that's what this Spurs team is doing. And you got to credit Mitch Johnson for being very Greg Popovich-like when it comes to defensive attention. And that's what they're doing. I know Pop always used to say that if you play good defense, you're always going to be in there, even if you're missing shots, even if you're turning the ball over. If you're playing defense, you're always going to have a chance. And this team is getting that done. Last night was a perfect example of that because it seemed like the Spurs just turned up the heat, turned up the volume, if you will, in the second half of that ball game. And they smoked them. They just flat out smoked them in that second half. And it was just great to see. And you could almost see a very puzzled, frustrated OKC team. And a fantastic performance. So the point is that it may not matter how loud that arena is tomorrow. It may not matter how fired up Oklahoma City is tomorrow. If the Spurs play that kind of swarming defense and continue to play where they're playing, they just may be the better team or the better matchup, I should say, at this point in time. Long way to go. I get that. But they might just match up pretty well against that Oklahoma City Thunder team. Wemby was asked last night after the game if the 2 wins against OKC mean anything.
Of course. And it also tells me how much better we are from the beginning of the season. We can still get much better. Still get a few wins before we can catch up on them. But yeah, it means something for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think Spurs fans are hungry for that. I certainly am. You need a rivalry. You know, I'm old enough to go way back with the Spurs, so I remember the old rivalry with the Utah Jazz. Karl Malone, the mailman, and John Stockton and Jeff Hornacek and those guys, I'll never forget it. That was a big rivalry. The Spurs and the Utah Jazz were a big rivalry. Then it became the Lakers. That became a rivalry because they met in the playoffs all the time. And I used to love that. And so now the Spurs need another one. And now that they're good enough and they're winning games and they're competitive again, you can't really have a rival if you don't beat your rival. I don't know, maybe Oklahoma City ought to think about that before they call this thing a rivalry. But you got to beat them on occasion, right? You got to have a give and take there. The Spurs really haven't had that opportunity lately. Now they do. And so I would like to see this Oklahoma City-San Antonio thing turn into a rivalry. It'd be great to see. David Macias on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page says it was great to see the Frostbank Center rocking like it used to. The fans were fired up. I had a friend of mine call me last night on his way to the Frostbank Center, and he goes, I'm going to the game. I'm excited about it, but he goes, the Spurs are a 7-point underdog. Why is that? And I said, I don't know. I said, it's strange to me why they're a 7-point dog at home against a team they just beat in Oklahoma City. But the Thunder still get a lot of respect, and they're still getting a lot of respect from Las Vegas, obviously. Well, my friend, not only was he happy the Spurs won for a couple of reasons, he was at the arena and saw it, and he won some money. So all of those things are very good. It's going to be interesting to see what the line is tomorrow. I haven't seen it yet. It's out. I'll find it here in a minute, but it's going to be interesting to see. So is this thing becoming a rivalry? Oklahoma City and San Antonio. Wimby was asked that question.
I don't know, and it feels like saying it is a rivalry would be like a weird thing because it's not something that builds naturally. But it's I didn't say that it's impossible that it can be in the future. I mean, I hope it will be soon, but we're definitely getting closer.
Definitely getting closer. I don't know. I think Victor Wembanyama is one of those guys that wants this to become a rivalry. I think he thrives on stuff like that. Everybody wanted to make him and Chet Holmgren, rivals and the good guy and the bad guy. I don't know if Chet Holmgren is good enough for that. I mean, I really don't. I don't know if he's good enough for that. Now, Coyote says my app has OKC 9.5. So does mine. 9.5. So the Thunder are 9.5-point favorites tomorrow afternoon. That seems like a lot of points. I'm not sure what I would do in that situation. I'm not a huge basketball gambler. I'm more of a football guy. I'll get into basketball as we go, but 9.5, that seems like a lot. It really does. I don't know, Coyote. Would you take the 9.5 and the Spurs? What would y'all do in that situation? I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Mitch Johnson, love the job he's doing a great job for a young guy. He's such a steady hand, it seems like, on that sideline. And again, after the game last night, being that steady hand, because the mantra with the Spurs has always been you never get too high after a win or too low after a loss. Well, listen to Mitch Johnson because he says, don't get too excited just yet about the start of the season.
You guys were frustrated or rolled your eyes at the start of the season. Our expectations that we wanted to be better than we were last year and to continue to grow and improve. We didn't have a magic number that we didn't tell anybody. We beat this team twice, to your point, but then if that team beats that team and that team's beat that logic, everybody's the best or everybody's the worst. This league's a monster. We have a good record and we get credit for those wins, and we've done a great job in our competitive response, and we've closed out some games in a very composed way for some of the lack of experience we have, whether that's individually or collectively as a group. And that's what it is. It doesn't mean anything more. It doesn't mean anything less. We played 29 games.
There you go. Very coach-like, coach speak for sure from Mitch Johnson. We've only played 29 games. Doesn't matter. It means nothing. And look, I'm sure he means that, and he's got to say that. There's a long way to go yet. I mean, a long way to go yet. The Spurs got to continue to play the way they're playing right now, and it's early. But for the fans, for us out here, it means something. It absolutely means something. And because we're hungry. We're hungry again, aren't we? I mean, I certainly am. I'm hungry. I'm hungry for the Spurs team to start winning again. We've all been very fortunate to have this team to root for that has won so many championships, that has so many banners hanging inside the Frost Bank Center. And you go for a little while. I mean, it's been since 2014. Now, depending on your theory and your thought, it's been 11 years since the Spurs have won a championship. It's a long time. I'm ready for one. I'm at least ready to compete for one. If the Spurs get there or get just short, but they're there and they're competing, and it looks like this team, at least early in the season, and it is still early in the season, they have the makeup for a team that looks like they can compete for an NBA title. And I love that. I absolutely love that. And I'm here for it. So going into tomorrow's game, Spurs a 9.5-point underdog to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Mitch Johnson was asked if tomorrow's game, if the Spurs win it, that makes a statement, doesn't it?
No, in the sense that playoffs aren't a discussion at this point. We haven't played 30 games. We need to continue to get better. I think probably what some of your sentiment is of playing the same team twice in a short amount of time. We've done that, I think, at least once this year, maybe one other time. It gives you it produces typically an approach where you know a little bit of what you're walking into. You just saw a lot of that play, whether that's style of play or, playbook very recently. And so the guys are a little bit more on alert sometimes of whether that's the base of what they're walking into or some of the winks and blinks and counters that the other team may be. And so we would expect nothing but a very hostile crowd and a very sharp OKC team on Christmas.
I would imagine that's the case, and he's right about that. They're going to come out smoking. Can the Spurs match that and do what they've been doing when they're playing Oklahoma City? It will be interesting. Don't know if you guys saw this or not last night, and I think it's fantastic. The Spurs unveiled a new tradition after a win there at the Frost Bank Center. Victor Wembanyama, he's done a lot to get the fans involved, get everybody excited. And last night's new tradition, I think it's a winner.
Now, I would like, with my teammates, to introduce a little new tradition that we've been working on with the Jackals over there. So please, everybody, arms up in the air, spread your arms. Everybody spread your arms. And do just like the Jackals.
Wemby on the big old drum, beating it, and the fans just kind of clapping their hands when they're supposed to. Hey, the fans are excited, man. You can tell that. Fans are excited about this ball club. It is a young, exciting basketball team, and they're playing well, and they've got fans excited again. And I love to see it because San Antonio, it's time. It's time again, and Spurs are back, at least for now. And again, I'm trying to stay, as Coach tells us, to just calm down, pump the brakes a little, pump the brakes. I'm trying, but it's hard to do that because we're excited about it. And a Spurs win tomorrow, can you imagine, on Christmas Day? Wow, there could be a lot of excitement going on. Going to be a lot of fun, no doubt. And I love the new tradition. And I don't know about y'all, but Wemby getting involved, what he's done with the Jackals, that was all his idea. All his idea. So he's got them going on. And then you got this new tradition with the drum, the hands clapping. I like what Wemby's doing. And it tells me he's invested in this town and in this team. I mean, I don't see how you could look at it any other way. He's invested in San Antonio and in the Spurs. And he's enjoying what they're doing right now. You can tell. And I think he's even enjoying the fact, and what's going on behind the scenes remains to be seen. But just from the outside looking in, I think he's enjoying how they're handling him. And I think he's being patient with that because of the success that this team is having. And I'm talking about him coming off the bench, limited minutes, all of that kind of stuff. But I like what he's doing, and I like the enthusiasm that he's showing. And I love it. And it also shows me, with the fact that he is being patient, the team's winning. Why wreck the apple cart when you're still the best player on the team? But why do things to mess that up? He's smarter than that. He likes the success. And there's a lot of players and a lot of playmakers on this basketball team. And he's allowing that process to play out. And that should tell you everything you need to know about Victor Wembanyama and how he feels about San Antonio and how he feels about the San Antonio Spurs. It is incredibly positive, and Spurs fans, you deserve it. So take a bow and have a Merry Christmas, that's for sure. When we come back, the college football playoffs. Well, the ratings weren't so great for those other two games, James Madison and Tulane. Will that signify or spur, for lack of a better word, a change to the college football playoff rules? Let's talk about that when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding I-10 with The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. You can also text bail to 474747 or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service, they're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or online mybestbailbonds.com.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesome, TIX.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
How's the heating and AC at your house? If you've got any issues, you've got to call Right Home Services. Veteran owned and operated. They've been serving San Antonio for more than 45 years now. They're certified, background checked, and highly trained professionals. And right now, Right Home Services has a great special. This is for a whole home AC system replacement, $79.99 right now. The number's 210-444-0000, Right Home Services.
The right stuff.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
So you need last-minute gifts. No judgment. Get an extra 25% off during Kohl's Friends and Family Sale and find great gifts under $20. Like something cozy, something thoughtful, something that says you planned this all along. Yep, you're just one quick trip away from checking off the last gifts on your list. Save now at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer ends December 24th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Washington Commanders have made it official. Josh Johnson will be their starting quarterback when they take on the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow. Of course, the Cowboys just 2 games left on the year. It will kick off at noon tomorrow, but we'll get you all started at 11 o'clock on your home for Cowboys football, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Tonight, the Hawaii Bowl. Hawaii takes on Cal. Kickoff set for 7. You can catch it here starting at 6:30.
Sports Center brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Yeah. Happy hump day, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas Eve to everyone. Hope you're having a good one out there. I'm assuming, because Edwin Hafner and I are in here in the studio with no windows, so I'm assuming the sun's about starting to go down. Hopefully it's not quite as hot as it has been, but I hope you're having a great Christmas Eve and some nice plans for tonight, tomorrow, and all of that kind of good stuff. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is off. He's spending some time with his family on this Christmas Eve. Happy for him doing that. And, again, thank you all for spending some time with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. David Macias on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page is reminding everybody to go get a Powerball ticket. I think it's $1.7 billion tonight. What a Christmas present that would be for somebody. David, I went out and bought tickets with some friends of mine. We all kind of threw some money in a pot, and for the last one, which I guess was, on the 22nd. And, we didn't win. Obviously, nobody won. But I didn't know. I had no clue because it had been a while since I had bought lottery tickets, and maybe many of you know this already, but when you buy $10 worth of those things, you get freebies on that Texas two-step thing. I mean, was that, I don't know, was that, is that a thing? Is that always a thing, or is that just like a Christmas special? Because it was good, because I ended up winning $16 on one of those tickets. So I was like, hey, consolation prize. Didn't get us anywhere close to even, but it was something. And at least you could say, hey, I was a winner. I won something. I didn't know that was a thing. So, yeah, go get the Powerball ticket tonight before that drawing. What time is the drawing? It's like 10 o'clock, 10:30, something. What is it?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I think it's right around 10 o'clock, somewhere in there. But, some people know that. It's fine. I don't know if I'm going to buy tickets tonight or not. I might on the way home before I go pick up my beautiful wife and we go to dinner. Maybe grab a couple of those Powerball tickets. You never know. You never know. I know the odds are outrageous, but, you never know. Who knows? What a Christmas present for somebody. All I don't want somebody like I hate it when you see those things, somebody from like Podunk City, Michigan won that thing or whatever, and it's like, damn it. I don't like that. You play the lottery, Edwin?
No, I don't.
You don't, huh?
No. My dad does.
Yeah, well, you can't win, Edwin, if you don't play. You're guaranteed you're not going to win if you don't play.
Have you ever won anything?
Not like that, no. But, yeah, I think I won $100 on a scratch-off one time. It was like the most I've ever won. And that was kind of cool. I was like, hey, $100. Because I think it was like a $10 ticket or a $5 one. I'm not sure what it was, but I thought $100, that's pretty cool.
That's more than me.
Well, yeah.
100 more than me.
Yeah, you're not a scratcher either, huh?
No.
Well, damn. We got to corrupt you a little bit, Edwin. Get you to gamble a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, have a drink or two on occasion. You're old enough to drink, aren't you?
Almost.
Almost. You're not. You're older than 21, Edwin. Come on. It's all right. You stay just the way you are, my friend. You're doing just fine. College football playoffs. Are you enjoying this? I got to tell you, I am looking forward to the next round. There are some great games. That Oregon-Texas Tech game is going to be fantastic, I think. Indiana, the hell are they playing? Alabama. That should be pretty good. You've got some other good ones in there with Miami and Ohio State. There's going to be some good games in there. The games we had, though, in the first round, Oklahoma, Alabama, turned out to be a good game because Oklahoma flat out laid an egg after they got up 17-0. Alabama comes back to win that thing. And then the Miami A&M game, defensive battle, disappointing for Aggie fans, certainly, and I know they're still disappointed by that. But it was a decent football game. It came right down to the wire. But when you're talking about the other two, Tulane and Ole Miss. Ole Miss smoked Tulane. Second time this year they've done that. And then, of course, Oregon, a little bit harder time with James Madison than I think they thought they would have. Look, Oregon put 50-some-odd points on the board. But Oregon, James Madison puts up, 37? So a little bit closer game there than maybe most folks thought. Because they covered the spread, by the way. And I only know that because, there was a guy that bet on them at the steak eating contest that we were having. And so he was pretty happy about that. But here's why all of this may change. And teams like that, or they may try to figure out a way to get rid of teams like that. Let me just give you an idea. The Alabama OU game on Friday night had almost 15 million viewers. That's according to Nielsen. Is the fifth most watched game of this season. The Miami Texas A&M game on Saturday morning, 14.8 million viewers. All right, eighth most watched game of the season. Then you had Tulane and Ole Miss, 6.2 million viewers. And then JMU and Oregon, 4.4 million viewers. Now, I'm just saying, and I know they were up against some NFL games. I get that. But still, think about it. You're talking about 8 million viewers from Texas A&M to Ole Miss, from that game to that game. And they're talking about 10 million viewers from the A&M game to the Oregon game. That will cause those TV executives to stand up and say, wait a minute, what are we going to do and how do we fix this thing? And I think that's going to happen. Now keep in mind, too, and it's a disservice. I say it's a disservice, but ESPN kind of pawned those games off on TNT. Would it have made a difference if they're on ESPN? Perhaps, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. I just don't. To me, it's a waste of time. Now, and I get the whole Cinderella story. The whole Cinderella, you want this, you want to try and get that upset, that Cinderella story where, I don't know, James Madison knocks off Oregon, and then somehow, some way they go on to knock off Texas Tech, and then after that they go on to and make a run. See, that can happen in March Madness. It can happen in basketball. It's happened before in basketball. I just don't think it's possible. And I know everybody's going to point to teams like, I don't know, Appalachian State beating A&M. What was that, 4 or 5 years ago? I understand it can happen, but it's like a miracle when it happens. Is that what we want to see? I don't. I want to see good football. I want to see matchups like Oklahoma and Alabama, Miami and Texas A&M, and the matchups that we got coming here in the next round on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I've heard a lot of people, though, unbelievably so, that they kind of like the way that it is and want to keep it that way. And I've also heard other people say if you take out the so-called G5s, that you'll have lawsuits all over the place and that it's not going to work. I don't know, again, what the answer is, but I know that the TV executives will see the numbers that I just read out, and they're going to scratch their heads, and they're going to say, how do we fix this? And it's a problem. It is absolutely a problem. So it's got to be fixed. I think it will be. I think we're going to expand. I don't think there's any question about it. I really do. But when's that going to happen? And how much pushback will there be? I don't know if you guys will remember this or were listening when we were at Army-Navy Weekend. We talked to the American Conference Commissioner, Tim Pernetti, and he got really pissed off when people start talking about Tulane not having a chance. And it was good for him to talk that way then. I wonder what he says now when Tulane just simply got spanked. I don't know. Would North Texas have gotten spanked by Ole Miss? Not sure. Would Memphis? Memphis got beat. It's just not a level playing field. It's just not. When it comes to the game of football, there's a big difference. There's no doubt about it. Houston Texans have one of the tougher games this weekend. They've got to travel to Los Angeles to battle the Chargers. It's going to be tough. Both of those teams battling for playoff position, playoff lives, if you will. What does John McClain think about that? We get to visit with the general on this Christmas Eve. We'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there. To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Want to be the block party hero this year? Head to Off Fireworks Megastore, just 2 miles outside 1604 and Petrenko. Get the loudest deals. Buy 2, get 1 free on 500-gram aerials and reloadable artillery shells plus more. Light it up at Off Fireworks, 13022 Petrenko Road.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with the Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
By texting 24700, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from J. Crew Factory. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at jcrew.com.
Need last-minute gifts? J.Crew Factory has got you covered. Enjoy up to 60% off store-wide and shop cozy matching pajamas, toasty sweaters, amazing outerwear, festive accessories, and so much more. Get in the spirit at J.Crew Factory, where you'll score our exclusive collection of classic styles for the whole family at prices that can't be beat. And today, save even more. Just text GIFTING to 24700 to receive an extra $25 off your purchase of $75 or more at your nearest J. Crew Factory store. Visit jcrewfactory.com to find your nearest San Antonio area store today. But first, get an extra $25 off your purchase of $75 or more when you text GIFTING to 24700. Text GIFTING to 24700 to get your $25 off coupon. That's GIFTING to 24700. See a store associate for details.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9047. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-9047. That's 800-575-9047.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
I have a question for AJ. Like, do you actually wear a fake headset on game day? Because I have a vision of you just like with a headset on, like, going through the motions.
Andy Reid.
Really awesome.
He knows Coach Reid. He's got a menu.
Fake Andy Reid. Yeah, fake Andy Reid. I love that guy. I mean, fake Andy Reid who's got his headset. I just wondered because, again, you are very knowledgeable, but I think that's what I'm going to do when I retire is I'm just going to sit around with a headset and talk to nobody but myself.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, go for it here.
And keep a challenge flag in your sock.
And then I tell myself, oh my God. I can't believe Shotty did this. I'm going to talk to him on the radio on Friday, and I can't believe he did this.
Brian Schottenheimer's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings, presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Talking sports on a Christmas Eve. Couldn't think of anything better to do on a Thursday or a Wednesday afternoon. It's Thursday. I thought it was because that's normally when we get the pleasure of talking with our good friend, the General John McClain, who is joining us now via the Buyers Barricades guest line. I'm Joe Reinigle. Jason Minix has the day off. And, John, appreciate you having the audible there, my friend, and joining us on this Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to you.
I'm happy to do it. Merry Christmas to you and all your listeners, Joe.
Appreciate it, John. Well, I tell you what, Christmas has turned into a big sports day. That is for sure, now that the NFL's gotten involved. A lot of games tomorrow, a lot of NBA stuff. But the Houston Texans, John, I got to talk to you about them because I was not expecting the game to be as close as it was last week between them and the Las Vegas Raiders. Did that surprise you?
Well, considering I picked it 30-6, yes. Now, I went back and looked after the game. The Raiders have lost a lot of close games, including 2 or 3 of the really good teams that are in or competing for the playoffs, but still, it's inexcusable. It was here. Texans, the previous week, beat up on Arizona 40-20, but they allowed Jacoby Brissett to throw 3 touchdown passes. And then in this game, they allowed the Raiders to score 3 touchdowns, including 2 on passes by Geno Smith. Now, obviously, DeMeco Ryans was not happy about that performance by his defense because it only been given up 16. They still are number 1 defense in the NFL going into Saturday's game against the Chargers. But you got to hope if you're the Texans that the players were looking ahead. They had trouble getting up. And what was more troublesome to me was the offense that had helped put up 40 on the Cardinals was awful for 3 quarters. And C.J. Stroud was terrible, even though he got great protection. But then when they got behind in the 4th quarter, Stroud was great, 9 of 10, 77 yards, a touchdown on the last series when they needed to get first downs to run out the clock. He threw a great 24-yard pass to Nico Collins, who made a great catch on the sideline, and then they ran out the clock. And, of course, you always say, old ugly's better than old nothing. You take an old ugly victory over a pretty defeat any day. But they're playing the Chargers now, a team that owes them because they pounded the Chargers in the playoffs here last year. Justin Herbert had 4 interceptions, and he's coming off a great game. So this is going to be a very exciting nationally televised Saturday afternoon at 3:30, and I expect the Texans will lose, come back and beat the Colts, finish 11-6, and will be a wild card team for the first time in team history.
Wow. Well, look, I hope the Texans make the playoffs just simply because of that defense, and I think they'd be dangerous when it gets in there. The Chargers, Jason and I were at that game on Sunday up at Jerry World, and I want to say Justin Herbert looked great, and he did, but the Cowboys seem to make every quarterback look good these days, no matter what his name is. But Herbert, I mean, he was just spot on, and I think he's playing some of the best football that he's played. But again, their offensive line, John, is so banged up that I think the Texans ought to be able to get a lot of heat on him.
They're missing their 2 tackles. They've been missing them most of the season. They still run the ball well. And Herbert, some people, unless you watch him consistently, don't realize what a good runner he is. And he had a big run at I think it was in the 4th quarter where he took off up the middle, and quarterbacks have hurt the Texans that way. And I don't know what kind of defensive strategy they have, but I'd have my best linebacker and my fastest linebacker, Azeez Shire, spying on the quarterback to make sure they don't get burned again by a quarterback running up the middle. It's happened to them several times, especially in the 4th quarter. But Herbert, that was his best game. You know, he'd been hurt, surgery on his hand, went through a tough 3-game stretch, but they were winning. But in that game, he looked great. You don't know, was it because of him and the Chargers offense? How much did the Cowboys have to do that? But the Texans defense is terrific. Their secondary is great. You know, they're playing well. Both Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. had sacks in that last victory, but they've got to get pressure on Herbert and keep him in the pocket.
Talking with John McClain here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And, yeah, I love this time of year, John, especially when we have games that matter, like the Texans and the Chargers. And those type of games you look forward to. And to me, if I'm Houston or the Chargers, I'd rather play a team like that heading into the playoffs than a cupcake. And I think Jacksonville finishes with a couple. Do they not? Am I wrong about that?
No, they play Indy, and then they play Tennessee.
Okay, yeah.
And there's a possibility that last game might not mean anything for the Jaguars. They rest everybody, and Tennessee beats them, which is always possible at the end of the year. But the only games that are terrible, and I feel bad for Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Those 3 games on Christmas Day don't mean squat. But a game that means a lot at the other end of the standings, Giants versus Raiders. The loser of that game has inside track to the first pick. And while we're all talking playoffs and Super Bowl, we got to worry what looks like it'll be the Fernando Mendoza pick. But we have to watch that one as well. But Netflix pays a fortune to the NFL to get these Christmas games. Texans played Baltimore last year on Christmas. The highlight was Beyonce's concert at halftime because the Ravens just crushed the Texans. And these, while they may be good games, you just don't get excited about them because they're not like the Texans and the Chargers have anything to do with the playoffs.
We know, John, I think when they scheduled those things, they probably thought, these are some good matchups, and they should be pretty good, you know.
Look at them. You're thinking, wow, we got Denver going to play Patrick Mahomes. We got Jaden Daniels, everybody. And it's too bad, of course, but, there's nothing you can do about it because injuries play such a key role in the NFL, and they may turn out to be really good games, but still, that I can't imagine the ratings will be very good. And the NBA's got to be the beneficiary. The NBA's got to be really happy because it owned Christmas Day till the NFL decided to be the 800-pound gorilla and sit wherever it wanted. It wanted to sit on Christmas Day. I know now I'm more interested in the Lakers and the Rockets than I am any of those 3 NFL games.
Well, and here in San Antonio, we're interested in the Spurs in Oklahoma City. Spurs have beaten OKC 2 times in a row now, and they're going to try to make it 3 in a row. So, a lot of interest here, especially I guess that'll go up against the second half of the Cowboys game even. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I have a feeling there'll be a couple of TVs in a lot of living rooms, John, when it comes to that. John McClain joining us here on the Blitz. Interesting, you brought up the Ravens, and we did a story earlier, and I don't know if you've seen this story, John, out of the Baltimore Sun, talking about Lamar Jackson and how he and John Harbaugh may be getting tired of each other, and that Lamar is sleeping in meetings and just not being a good citizen, and that his time in Baltimore could actually be coming to an end. And a couple of teams were mentioned in Miami and Las Vegas. Have you seen that story?
Yeah, and Mike Preston, longtime Baltimore Sun columnist, wrote a column, and it wasn't vicious. It wasn't attacking Lamar. It was well-sourced, saying at your age, you shouldn't be staying up all night playing video games, falling asleep in meetings, and your team having practices in the afternoon in the heat instead of in the morning so you can be there on time. And he blamed it on the Ravens for letting him get away with that. And I think that Harbaugh would have a better chance of being gone than Lamar Jackson because where else are you going to get a quarterback like Jackson? He's battled injuries this year. They're still trying to I can't remember. Have they been eliminated?
Not yet. Not officially, no.
They're still clinging to hope. Steelers have won 3 in a row. Look like they'll win that division, but it's the kind of thing that happens when you've got a shelf life. I remember Jim Mora when he was with the Saints. Marty Schottenheimer said this too. When you've been with a team for 10 years, players, it starts to go in one ear and out the other. And now that was said a long time ago. Now you got free agency and players come and go. How many players are listening to you for 10 years? Not many.
No, that's absolutely true. It's going to be interesting to see because I think you're right. I mean, I think Harbaugh is probably gone before Lamar is, but you never know. According to that article, he wants an extension for the contract that he got, back in 23, I think, and he counts a lot against the cap coming up. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. I just found it a fascinating article because I had no idea. I honestly don't follow Baltimore very closely, but I mean, that it really took me by surprise.
It's what happens when your team is a disappointment. You know, they were one of the Super Bowl picks by a lot of people, and it was justifiable. I thought about it. I've usually picked Baltimore. This year I picked Buffalo and Detroit, and Buffalo to win. I got a chance with one of them, but I think once the season's over and players take a vacation, they come back with a new lease on life. If John Harbaugh were to be shown the door, say it was in the morning, Joe, he'd have a job by halftime.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, by lunchtime. And it's like when Andy Reid got fired after a 4-12 season in Philadelphia, he had that Kansas City job, it seemed almost like within an hour. And so that's the way it would be with Harbaugh, too. And sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for. You want change, and all of a sudden you look back and go, man, what did we do that? If you don't believe it, just ask the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, their head coach is doing very well in New England these days. It's going to be a fun playoffs, John, honestly. And again, I do hope the Houston Texans get in. I think they'll make it interesting for sure. But some new blood in the playoffs and in possibly the championship games. I'm excited about that. Are you?
Yeah, I was tired of the Chiefs like I was tired of the Patriots. You know, great dynasty, but you get light. You're right, new blood. Even the Ravens, you know, I'm tired of the Ravens. I like the fact that it's Seattle and Sam Darnold. Everybody loves a great comeback story. First quarterback in history to win at least 12 games with two different organizations and back-to-back season. I still think the Rams are the best team. I can't decide in the AFC. I thought it was Denver, and after the way the Jaguars hammered them by 14 in Denver, it might be the Jaguars are the best team. One of the things going to be fun to watch is these young quarterbacks like, say, Drake May, Bo Nix, those guys, Caleb Williams, when they're playing in, say, the championship games, the weather is terrible. You know, it's cold, it's snow, it's wind, and all that. Another thing I'm interested to see, Joe, have the Eagles been bored, and are they waiting to turn it on in the playoffs? They kind of look better. They haven't been the machine. They got some injured players coming back, and nobody's talking about them for a repeat of the Super Bowl, even though they just repeated as NFC East champions. So there's so many things to look forward to in the playoffs. Texans are 99% of getting in now, but I don't have a lot of faith on them going on the road because they've never won a road playoff game. They've won the division 8 times, and every time they've gone on the road for a divisional round game, they've lost. Kansas City last year, Buffalo the year before. I don't think they've ever won in New England, and right now they would be going to New England where they won in regular season last year. But the team that I kind of would like to see the Texans and the Jaguars play for a third time because the first 2 games were so interesting. The Texans lost by 7 in Jacksonville and committed 3 turnovers in the red zone in the fourth quarter. And the Jaguars here blew a 26-point lead in the fourth quarter, led by Davis Mills, backup quarterback. So I'd kind of like to see those teams get to play again.
It's going to be a lot of fun, John, no doubt about it. John McClain joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Well, John, any Christmas Eve plans, Christmas Day plans for you and your wife?
No, my wife Carol, we sit here and we watch sports, and she likes Christmas movies. She's seen 50 times, and it's kind of fun. This is the only radio show I've done today. Most of them were moved to yesterday or Monday, but I'm taking it easy in anticipation of a lot of football. I'm fired up about the college football playoffs as well. Hope Texas Tech wins. Love to see Tech be the spoiler or actually win it, but I can't wait for that as well. And Baylor, anybody look at the internet today, Baylor signed a 7-foot basketball player who was a first-round pick of the Pistons and was traded to the Knicks in the Karl Anthony Towns trade, but he never played with them except in a preseason game in which he had 18 points and I think 16 rebounds, and he was in Europe in the G League, and all of a sudden he's got 3 years of eligibility, and national media and coaches and everybody are going crazy what happens next? A guy plays in the NBA, doesn't want to go to the G League, so he'll go to college. Baylor hadn't gotten this much attention, Joe, since they won a national championship.
Well, no kidding. I did see that story today. It's going to be interesting to see how he works out there at Baylor. That's going to be fun to watch, and I know you're excited about that, John, for sure.
I sure am excited about that. Let me tell you, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, all your listeners. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week.
Merry Christmas, John. Enjoy.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Appreciate it. John McClain joining us via the Buyers Barricades guest line. In fact, everybody joins us via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. You know, I love talking with John McClain because you can talk to him about anything and everything. It is fantastic. And Edwin's getting mad at me. He's writing stuff up here on the board. We got 2 of these things to give away, Edwin?
Still got 2.
Still got 2 4-packs of tickets to give away. To the Navy All-American Bowl coming up on January the 10th. Let me get over here, make sure I get all of this right. It is a family 4-pack, not only to see the Navy All-American Bowl at 12:30 on January 10th, but it also gets you into the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero at 5:30 and 4 free Whataburger coupons. So caller number 9 at 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. You're going to win a family 4-pack to go see both of those football games. Good luck. We return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, during the holidays with a lot of extra family in town, that's when bad stuff happens. Emergencies in the plumbing issues. And good news for you, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, they are experts in worst-case scenarios. And it might not be worst case for them because they do this every day, but for you with family in town, it would be worst case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Quarter Moon is a full-service plumbing company. No commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quarter Moon, they are green certified. Whether it's plumbing issues, a plumbing emergency, your AC, your heater, and this time of year it could be both. Call Quarter Moon, one company. They are the experts to call if you're having any issues at your house. And, of course, Quarter Moon has great maintenance programs that ensures your unit is ready for every season. 210-651-5899 or go to their website, quartermoonplumbing.com. This college football season, the Crunch Time Hero of the Week is brought to you by PorkRinds.com, the nation's premier hub for pork rind lovers everywhere. Each week, a college player will post on Instagram, and each share over a 2-week period equals a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, which helps families who are dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Giving back with the perfect snack to celebrate those big Crunch Time plays. Find your rind at PorkRinds.com or find Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here, and I'll tell you what, it's holiday season. My bags are packed, travel plans are set, and the roads and airports are filling up. I want to remind you that while you're heading out of town, Bluebonnet Bunk and Biscuit has your pups covered. It's a luxury pet care you can trust while you're away. They've got over 17,000 square feet of pet paradise, more than an acre of play outside, plus training and spa treatments. It's a holiday staycation that your four-legged MVP certainly deserves and will absolutely love. Book your pup spot today. Call 210-750-1298.
America's Diamond has never sold lab-grown diamonds, and we warned our clients, friends, and neighbors that wholesale prices would crash to almost nothing. 2-carat GVS2 lab-grown diamonds are currently being traded at wholesale for $264, but some jewelers are still selling them online for $3,000 to $4,000. Repeat, wholesale $264, retail $3,000 to $4,000. Some retailers are selling 1-carat lab-grown diamonds for under $300, and others are giving them away for free with purchase. Lab-grown diamonds are very easy to detect with gemological equipment. Tens of millions of carats are produced in huge factories in China and India, using a tremendous amount of subsidized electricity supplied by coal-burning power plants. America's Diamond has only offered traditional, real, natural earth-grown diamonds that are rare, extremely beautiful, and have had real value for centuries. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
Listen to this message I received.
First message.
This is Santa Claus. Hey, I'm calling to give you a heads up. Last Christmas, so many people asked me for a Connecticut water softener, but getting all those Connecticut units in and out of the sleigh, up and down the chimneys, well, it's not so good on my back. So I'm going to forward all those Connecticut wish lists directly to you. Here's Mrs. Claus.
Thanks again for installing our Connecticut. I just love how soft my man's beard is, and my skin feels silky smooth, even here at the North Pole.
Oh. So if it's okay with you, I'll handle the toys, you handle the water softeners.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit and $400 off when you trade in your old water softener.
By the way, the elves just love your jingle.
Call 656 Pure Connecticut.
I'm not a fan of the gluten-free cookies. Bye-bye.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656 Pure Connecticut.
License number 38961. Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call Invent Help today. We have representatives nationwide and services to showcase your invention. Get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Want to be the block party hero this year? Head to Off Fireworks Megastore, just 2 miles outside 1604 and Petrenko. Get the loudest deals. Buy 2, get 1 free on 500-gram aerials and reloadable artillery shells, plus more. Light it up at Off Fireworks, 13022 Petrenko Road.
Listen up! Mr. W Fireworks always has the lowest prices.
That's right. Mr. W Fireworks prices are always more than 50% lower than anyone else around, and we never charge you any hidden fees.
Look for the big W on our sign and find us online at MrWFireworks.com.
It's Christmas Eve. Santa's on the way. He'll be showing up here shortly. Happy Christmas Eve, everybody. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. All of that kind of stuff. Hope the holidays are good to you. Family, friends tomorrow, the rest of the holiday season. It's just the best time of year as far as I'm concerned. I love it. And, I love giving stuff away. And I know we just had a winner, Daniel Alzarete. I hope I pronounced that correctly, Daniel. Congratulations to you. And if you called and didn't get in, well, guess what? Get back on the phone. 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. I've got one more family 4-pack of tickets to go see the Navy All-American Bowl at 12:30. January 10th, also get you into the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero at 5:30, plus 4 free Whataburgers. Let's do, caller number 6. 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. Good luck, caller number 6. I just saw a story on Sports Illustrated that Aaron Rodgers addressed the DK Metcalf suspension. If you're not familiar with that, DK Metcalf suspended for 2 games for what appeared like he was throwing a punch at a fan. And there's all kinds of speculation and he said on this thing about what the fan said. Either way, the fan was being a jackass, but DK Metcalf should have never gone over there. So you can look at it a couple of ways. The Steelers are going to lose DK Metcalf for the final 2 games of the season, and they're important. At least this one coming up for them is important. Aaron Rodgers was asked about the incident today. And he says something that I agree with in part. He says, I think there's a mindset that you pay for a ticket, you can say whatever the hell you want. This is a quote. I think there should be some sort of code of conduct. Obviously, that was intentional, and I think there was some celebration afterward on his part. And he's right about that. I heard that the fan went back and said that was the goal. Obviously, I don't condone what DK did, according to Aaron Rodgers. I understand there have been a lot of crazy comments said my way over the years. The truth is that would have never happened face-to-face. There's 2 sides to every story. I support DK, and I'll continue to support DK. And you really wouldn't expect him to say much else. I mean, he's going to support his teammate. Mike Tomlin, the same thing. Basically, I don't condone what DK did, but I stand by him. And I agree with Aaron to a point. Fans, you can't just go out and be vile and say stuff. I am all for fans heckling the players. I think that's okay as long as it's clean, it's fun. I don't think that's a problem. Look, we talk about sports hate, if you will, all the time on this show, and it's real. And you have rivalries, and you poke fun, and you debate, and you do that, but as long as it's in a fun way. When you start getting personal or say things that just aren't appropriate, then that's when it's going too far, and that's when it should be stopped, as far as I'm concerned. And so I just think that I don't know what the fan said. We may never know completely because he said one thing. Witnesses say he said one thing. DK said he said something else. And so I'm not sure where the truth lies there. But I just think that DK Metcalf should have never walked over there. If this guy's being a donkey, then let him be a donkey and tell security about it and move on. You just don't have time for that. Now you cost your team potentially for your absence. I mean, he's going to be a big loss for them. He's a big part of what they do offensively. So tough to do. But Rodgers, I believe it or not, I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers necessarily. But the fact that, he said he doesn't condone what DK did, I appreciate what he said. But there is some responsibility there for the fans as well. So interesting stuff. There. By the way, I think I just said this, but DK did lose his appeal, so he is gone. He did appeal that suspension. He lost, and so he won't be able to play in the next two games. It certainly could potentially hurt Pittsburgh's chances. All they need is one win, and they clinch that division and kick the Ravens out of the playoffs. So the Ravens have a tough game this week. No Lamar Jackson. They've got to go into Lambeau Field and take on the Green Bay Packers. Who won't have Jordan Love, I don't think, this week. It looks like Malik Willis is going to get the start this week. I don't know if that's been confirmed or not, but either way, it's going to be a tough game. Malik Willis is pretty damn good, capable backup. This guy's been pretty damn good. I'm going to tell you that right now. So, anyway, it's going to be an interesting weekend in the professional ranks, and it all starts tomorrow. So, again, don't forget to go to sasportstar.com and get your picks in. You don't want to lose any ground. I got mine in there. I'm only one position away from the top spot. It's exactly where I want to be. Normally we do this on Thursdays, but we decided we're doing it today since tomorrow's Christmas. What's on tap?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
Sam's Burger Joint. You can go to samsburgerjoint.com online. Obviously, tomorrow they are closed. No show tomorrow, and Sam's Burger Joint is closed, but they'll get things rolling back on Friday. Henry Merchant is there on Friday. He'll be performing. On Saturday, the last Bandoleros will perform at Sam's Burger Joint. On Sunday, Fuvana, a tribute to the Foo Fighters and Nirvana. That ought to be kind of interesting. I like their name, Fuvana. For the Foo Fighters and Nirvana. Makes sense, right? Wednesday, they're going to have a New Year's Eve bash. This will be obviously a week from today with Exit Stage Left, a tribute to Rush. That'd be a kind of a fun New Year's Eve thing, I would think. Not bad at all. Go to samsburgerjoint.com for their entire lineup there. The burgers there are fantastic, by the way. Thursday at Green Hall, again, it is closed. Most places are going to be closed tomorrow. There's not going to be stuff. Although I would imagine maybe some places will open up Christmas night. I'm not sure. But Thursday at the Majestic Theater, they are having something. The Elf the Musical is taking place at the Majestic Theater on Christmas night. Friday at a Green Hall, Gary P. Nunn is going to perform out there. Always a good show. Stoney LaRue is at Floor's Country Store. That's going to be fun. Again, Elf the Musical at the Majestic Theater. At Freeman Coliseum, hopefully you folks know who this is. I'm not sure who the hell this is. YFN Lucci, D-Baby, and Boston Richie. I have no idea who the hell that is. You know who that is, Edwin?
Never heard of them.
Well, me either. But I've never heard of a lot of people. So if you know who that is and you want to go to Freeman Coliseum on Friday night, there you go. Out at Pick's Bar on Friday night is X Factor. And the LOL Comedy Club has Raymond Orta. He is there. Saturday night, Frost Bank Center, Spurs, and the Utah Jazz. They'll go head-to-head on Saturday night at the Frost Bank Center. At the Aztec Theater on Saturday night, Toadies are playing out there. That's a good one, according to Minix and Pledge. They like that. Flores Country Store, Clay Hollis is out there. The Majestic Theater, still Elf the Musical. The 3-night show out there, 3-night run. Not bad at all. Charlene McCombs Theater has nothing. Green Hall, Corey Morrow. I'm sure Pledge was going to put something for the Charlene McCombs Theater, but he didn't. Green Hall, Corey Morrow on Saturday night. I'm not sure where the Bang Bang Bar is, but Tainted Love is there. I'm sure that's a tribute band, right? Who sang that song, Tainted Love? I don't remember. But there you go. Oh, wow. The Paper Tiger Mini Christmas is there on Saturday night. That's going to be fun. Mini Christmas at the Paper Tiger on Saturday night. Head on out there and see those guys. They're really good. Really good. Thirsty Horse has Starseed. On Sunday, Lindsay Beaver is out at Green Hall. Paper Tiger has Chaparral. The LOL Comedy Club has Raymond Orta. He's out there again. Let's see what else we got. On Monday, the Spurs will take on the Cleveland Cavaliers inside the Frost Bank Center. The Majestic Theater on Monday has Nutcracker, the Magical Christmas Ballet, and then all kinds of stuff coming up on New Year's Eve. But I'm sure you guys know what you're going to do. The Knicks are in town on New Year's Eve at the Frost Bank Center. You can start your New Year's Eve celebration at the Frost Bank Center. Watch the Spurs kick the Knicks behind. And you got a Green Hall. You got two shows. A New Year's Eve countdown with Pat Green. Okay, I got to read this one. This is the Aztec Theater on Wednesday night. Mojo Brooks. I know you're effing lying tour. I didn't actually have to read that. I guess I did, but it's there you go. That's what's on tap, brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint. Again, go check out the entire schedule at samsburgerjoint.com. Plans for the evening. It is Christmas Eve as we await something. We await Santa's arrival. Can't wait to see the NORAD radar going to town, blipping with Santa, flying in, flying over, I don't know, England or Spain or whatever. Then he's headed this way, coming into the United States. And like, I'm still a kid at heart. I can't help it. I appreciate you guys putting up with the throat the last couple of days. It's been a real pain in the ass, I'll tell you that. But hopefully a little bit of a breather here with the couple of days off that we have. We'll get it back on track and be ready to roll when we come back. So I hope everybody enjoys their night tonight. Enjoy your Christmas day. Again, we appreciate what you guys do and how you listen each and every day, how you chime in. Whether you agree with us or not, it doesn't make any difference. We appreciate it. We really do. Tell me Gilbert on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, tell me to drink something. Don't worry, Gilbert. That will be happening, my friend, here shortly. I promise you. I think a shot of tequila or two might just do the trick and help this thing out. I think my family's going to enjoy me because I'll probably, for most of the Christmas day tomorrow and tonight, won't say a whole heck of a lot, and they'll probably enjoy that. So I'm going to try to rest the voice as much as I can. Now, after a couple of drinks, there's no promises. I can't make any promises there, but Gilbert says whiskey. All right. Should I add a little honey to that, Gilbert? Is that a thing? If you have whiskey and honey? I'm not sure, but I can try that. I've been gargling with apple cider vinegar. That was always kind of my go-to when I was doing TV, especially if I had a throat like this and was getting ready to do some Friday Night Football highlights. And you go gargle and drink a little apple cider vinegar. It usually helps, but boy, I've been back and forth to the office kind of chugging that and gargling that and doing all that. And, I think it's helped a little bit. but it is what it is. So a couple of days off, I think we'll take care of that. And honey and lemon with whiskey, Gilbert says. All right, Gilbert, as long as the whiskey part is there, I'm okay with that. I got no issue with that, and I think it'll be good. I got some whiskey at the house. I think I will do that. Again, nice night for me. I can't wait because I feel great, by the way. I know I sound like caca, but I feel great. And so the wife and I are going out to dinner. Going to have a nice dinner tonight, just the two of us. And that's the beauty of being, I guess, what do you your kids are gone, right? The kids are all out of there. And so we're going to dinner. We'll wake up in the morning and no Christmas presents are unwrapped. Then everybody comes over. A big family reunion. Big family party coming up on Christmas night. I hope all of you have the merriest of Christmases, the best Christmas Eve tonight, the best Christmas tomorrow. Hope you get to celebrate with family and friends. Hope Santa brings you everything that you want. Thank you all for listening. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas, everybody.
KTFM Floresville.